just in arts and culture, but just in the search for identity. We've started this morning with power struggle. There is always that. The war in Europe. What's going on in Europe? Massive power struggle. What's happening in Jamaica? Same, different side of the same coin, or smaller a snippet of the same story. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. It's a public holiday, and we are debating how best to address the show, because we don't we don't take many holidays. By the time we come to the end of the show, we will have decided if we're gonna just do like a remote broadcast.
Remote?
Yes,
Okay.
from the studio at home.
Interesting.
So, the producer, first we said we would take the holiday, and then since morning, a whole new dimension has entered. We're thinking about it. But the reason I mentioned power struggle is because of just two of the lyrics. Gotta stop the power struggle. It's causing the nation too much trouble. It's bound to bring about a revolution. Prophetic words by the man himself,
Yeah.
because we're at that point
There
where,
always is a
where
power
the
struggle
change
happening.
where the change is necessary. Well, you and I all the time say we fight in victory, which means that we are always overcoming.
True.
And to your point that there's always a power struggle. Yes, there's always a power struggle. But in a war with many battles, there are times when you look at the field and you're not sure who's winning and who's losing. But because we fight in victory, we know that no matter what it looks like on the field, if we stay the course, there is only one outcome. And that is a part of the discussion this morning. Staying the course in the face of enormous conflict.
Do not become weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap.
If you faint not.
If you faint not. And then out of Isaiah 40 that we read last week, they'll mount up with wings like eagle. That young men run and they become faint and weary, but those who trust in the Lord shall prevail. And you made that important point that we fight from a place of victory, because we, as I indicate to people all the time, it is so important. When we say we fight from a place of victory, is the God that we trust in, and we declare him to be our God. He has given us a preview of the end, and in the end, good triumphs over evil, and we get the victory again and again. He gives us the victory not only then, but in our present circumstances. Wonderful.
I'm just debating how much time we have to say. We have like 2 minutes before the break. I'd like to catch at least the first break on time. After that, we can be rebels. I wrote a note. Did you see what I wrote?
You're a rebel?
Always. Did you see what I wrote?
No. What did you write?
The principle of lift defies the law of gravity.
Okay.
We know that the natural laws operate in harmony with each other. The law of gravity, everybody remembers the apple falling from the tree and hitting the great scientist and causing him to
Eureka.
reflect and understand how gravity works.
Talking about his name again, Newton,
Isaac Newton.
who discovered the law of gravity.
Yeah.
Okay.
The principle of lift, or the laws that cause an object that faces a strong, powerful wind to lift and soar, that law defies the law of gravity.
Go on.
It goes up and it keeps rising. An airplane taking off.
You mean because of that is what I was thinking about.
Yes.
That's what. Because what you have done, you have made the necessary there's a word. You've made the necessary permutations. No, there's a word that I'm missing. Allowances for gravity, and then what you do, you put enough power that it defies the gravitational law. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and so even if you apply that principle of lift in your own personal life, you come upon circumstances and it would indicate you that you should fall. True. But what happens is that when you have the real power beneath your wings, then you're able to soar, to rise up and to soar like an eagle over the circumstances, because you are seeing, you're getting a perspective that allows you to see not what everybody else is seeing, but to rise above the circumstances. That's the principle of lift in our lives.
Yes, so why have I raised that very deep, scientific principle?
Deep.
Aerodynamics. Aerodynamics. We take the break. You'll see why I've raised it, because we're talking about opposing forces and events that can only be described as events of great adversity. How do you use those powerful forces to give you lift? That's what we'll be talking about this morning. Let's take our break.
We'll be right back.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
My station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM, keep listening.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Melody, melody, melody in our voice. Kemisha plays the music nice. Melody, melody, melody in our voice. Kemisha full of vibes. Best FM run the town. Yes, I run the town. Hear me loud and clear. They run the country and the town. Country and the town. Or the far and near. Bless the love into to Empress Kemisha. On Best FM, and it's all about the reset, you know. Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on Best FM. Keep it locked. This is Warrior King, the Black Emperor. Come on, come on. Tune in.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Thank you for sticking with us. And I'm going to give you brownie points, award points, whatever, in advance for your participation in this morning's topic of discussion. We're still talking about siege, war, the consequences of war on a society, on the psyche. But naturally, we have to turn our attention to survival techniques. What do we do? What are the instructions that you follow during times of adversity? And it really doesn't matter the scale of the adversity, the principles remain the same. Agreed? Principles remain the same.
That's correct.
Regardless of the scale of the adversity. We have two things that we're contending with. On the international scale, we see the world, powerful forces in the world, making moves, taking decisions that even the discussion of war has an impact on a very important component of our life, the cost of energy. Just the discussion of war sends the prices rocketing, and they only go one way, up. The actuality of war then means an escalating raft of the same kind of impact. Food prices will go up because of the number of things that we import, whether we are importing components of critical items or we are importing the item itself. We see already the impact of sanctions on economies such as ours, where and this now is how you measure the effect of a globalized marketplace. You see Rosal, one of the bauxite companies in Jamaica. I mean, I have no great love for the extractive industry. I think its time has come and gone, but it is here, and we have an investor. When sanctions were imposed in recent memory, it had a deleterious effect on the operations of the company. It has just sort of, regained some strength. And here, sanctions are being applied against Russian companies with Russian connection and businesses that are in who have relationships with Russian entities. So there's a discussion taking place in our parliament concerning what will happen with that company. But there are many other things. Around the world, you hear that people are tossing their Russian vodka. So even to something as, I would say, minor as that, people are making choices about throwing it away because
they're against
what Russia
is
doing.
I'm a Man City person, and before
you're a what? Football?
Man City
okay.
man, because that has become a part of what's happening in the wider thing. They put on shirts over their blue tops. They were playing Everton, and it says they have the Ukrainian flag because one of their members is Ukrainian by origin, and they had it before the start of the game. No war in Ukraine, so they're in support of no war, and they've used that platform just to speak their minds. Yeah, so I find that interesting. So when you said they throw their Russian vodka, it means that a lot of people. I saw in the paper too where a Japanese billionaire donated 1 billion yen. I don't know much money that to Ukraine in terms of helping them out. That was in the paper. So a lot of people are coming.
Well, also in the news is that they made a request from Elon Musk. Remember, I think yesterday we talked about communication and how communication is established and maintained during wartime. Usually there's a blockout because you don't want information moving as rapidly as it does during peacetime. So the Ukrainians made a call on Elon Musk for some satellite capacity to keep their telecoms and some technology assets in use, and he responded.
Wow.
So these are some of it's one of the reasons why I said this war this is going to be, I think it will be short-lived in terms of time. And I think the impact of technology, how communication is maintained, I think those and the existence of so many global multinational assets across the landscape, I think those are going to have some very interesting implications for how the war is sustained and even how it ends.
Yeah.
So just Ukraine's ability to call on a man in a different country for something as big as satellite capacity, that's a big deal.
And he responds.
Look at it now. We've been able to see the 17-mile long convoy of Russian artillery moving towards Ukraine. It means that you have the capacity. If you can see it, you can attack it. Usually, if you remember from even the study of how the other wars were played out, these things would move because you could jam satellite and radio communication. They moved like in the dark.
No, you can't do that anymore.
You can't do that anymore.
You can't go on Google now and see what is happening.
Absolutely. There's a satellite that is able to show you what is happening at any point of the day. Different satellites owned by different people, managed by different people. You know, you're not just left at the mercy of whomever is your traditional provider. So I just know that it's going to be different. I know it's going to be different. I'm waiting to see how it manifests. But those peculiarities have zero impact on how the overall the fact of a war, how it will affect life in countries such as ours. It don't matter if it's swift, if it's short, it's the same impact. Because one, there's much talk about the price of oil and what's going to happen. We see that already. We know too that when ships are not able to move as freely or as quickly, it has an impact on the availability of goods, the price of goods, and some of the adjustments that you need to make. And we also know that our businesses and some of the whatever activities that we are pursuing, those businesses can't be held in suspension until the blockade eases. We have to take decisions on the ground, minute by minute, day by day. A child who is waiting on medicine is not going to, a child or an adult or whomever who is waiting on critical health resources, their lives don't get extended because, there's a problem and it takes 6 weeks. It's a whole different thing. You can have a motor car that is waiting on a part to come out of Germany, and it can remain parked for 6 months, and you find workarounds. But there are some things which can't tolerate that level of interference. So it had me thinking, as I sat here, I started to think about, well, when you are faced with great adversity and you cannot run from it, hide from it, or wait it out, what do you do?
You live.
You face it.
You live.
And then you call on the power of lift.
The truth is, some of us would want to go around it. Some would want to jump over it. But in most times, what brings the greatest result for you is that you go through it. Because in going through it, you are fortified. You discover things about yourself that you never before imagined were possible. And the thing is, remember, when you put gold in a furnace, it has impurities. But when it goes through the furnace, it comes out as what? Pure gold. Because the impurities are removed.
Burnt out of it.
Aye. You could have said it are removed. You burn it out. As would say.
It's fire. You go through fire.
You go through it, and it removes everything, because what it does is that it truly examines what are you made of, and so that becomes important. And then you lift. As I alluded to and as I said in our opening thing, when you're going through, and as we said yesterday, you have to know what or who is your source, who is the rock that you stand upon, who is the person who is threatening you in the circumstance. Because it's like the baby bear that is out there playing and is oblivious to all of what is happening, and a fox sees him alone and says, I got him now, I'm going to destroy him. And the baby bear is oblivious to the fox coming in for the kill. And then he looks up and he sees the fox, but then he knows there's no movement from the fox, and he recognizes.
Are there any more relatable animals to be used in that analogy? since we don't have.
We don't have bears and thing. I'm trying to remember, like a puppy and a puppy and the mother, and then another one wants to attack. But that just come readily to mind.
Oh.
So he looks, and then he knows.
It's because each time you
vocative.
say fox,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that we need to hit the delete button. Somehow your fox don't sound like FOX.
Okay. Fox. Yes. Yes. All right. So
let's use another animal before I have to be explaining what you're talking about.
So the lion and the cub, yeah.
But you got me distracted a little bit. As you say, you have to go through it. Go through it, and I know in the pastoral language, going through it means something similar to allowing it to lift you. But what I saw, as you say, you have to go through it. I saw individuals making an effort to power through a situation which keeps you on the ground, breaking your shoulders against an immovable or an insurmountable weight, when what you need to do is let it lift you, because that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Sometimes, and let me tell you, this is deep. Sometimes the reason we don't overcome is because we're trying to go through. We're trying to go through something that just ravages us, and it's impossible for you to go through it. But if you allowed it to lift you, you overcome it. And I just want you to stay with me on that principle, because that is exactly the effect that I am seeking to achieve. You always need to find higher ground. Poverty and stagnation are two things that will occur when you're trying to power through something that you need to rise above. Just visualize it and understand that the principle of lift that I want us to lock into. Lift is the key aerodynamic force that keeps objects in the air. We're seeking elevation. We're seeking to move from the ground level of whatever it is that keeps us tied down. We're trying to move from that and rise to a position of greater elevation. And that requires facing the wind and putting yourself in a position to rise. Just visualize it with me. What does it mean? It means that if I am trying to get, and you hear it said all the time by the, what do they call them? They call them prosperity preachers. They say you think too small. You're struggling, you cannot pay rent for your house or your business or whatever. And you're going around trying to get the $100 that you need for rent or whatever. You need $1 million so you can buy that building. Do you get what I'm saying? Pastor, come on. I've shocked him, guys.
No, you've not shocked me. As in when you go into these things, I'm listening.
You're walking with me.
I'm listening.
Absolutely.
No, but because I'm saying
we
listening.
started the year talking about claiming the mountain. A mountain is not a small endeavor.
No, it's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
Yes, a big thing.
And you don't claim it by taking a little pickaxe and chipping away at it. You can eventually claim it. 10 generations of you can make a tunnel through it. But that approach is too small. You claim it by reducing it to a plane.
Okay.
And that is big activity. That's not small activity.
But then the question I ask you, even as you talk about lift and going through.
Not through, going over.
No, I'm still insisting on saying when you're going through the circumstances causes you to lift up your eyes to where your true source is. And that helps you in terms of rising above the circumstances, because they don't change.
I'm just messing with your choice of words, because I know that when you say go through it, you don't mean. I know you are seeking to achieve lift, but I'm just messing with the language a bit because I want persons to have a visual of a different approach to what they usually take.
Okay, all right.
And what I'm doing is I'm magnifying the intensity of the response, where instead of you trying to get by from day to day, you are seeking to put yourself in a new level,
a new dimension.
A stratospheric move is what you're going
in
for.
terms
You're
of
leaving the ground.
how do I cope with whatever is happening by lifting yourself, allowing it to push you up.
And it's not to say that your gains won't be incremental, because there is a sort of organic movement to things that we can't cheat unless there is some supernatural intervention. But in terms of how you get to the big vision that you have, it's still steady gains and incremental gains. But that shift in mindset is what will make a world of difference. So,
Agreed.
So you may be trying to, and that's why you may be trying to find rent. Don't try find rent.
Buy the
find
building.
mortgage.
Buy the building.
You know what I'm saying?
Buy the building,
it's
yes.
that shift, and we're saying now to communities that look at themselves, and the community may be looking quite diseased. There are some communities, as I'm driving through, I'm thinking, what? No, this need a complete makeover. You may have to start one house at a time. No problem. But what you want to envision is that complete makeover that takes you from wherever you are underground into something of a whole different order of things.
Is that similar to when you are faced with circumstances and your circumstances seem that they want to overwhelm you, that you now begin to say, no, I'm not looking at what the circumstances are seeking to dictate. I'm looking to where my true source is, and that empowers me to rise above it and to soar like an eagle. Is that what you're speaking to, my sister?
It can be, if that is what it does for you.
If what?
If that's the understanding you have of it.
No, but I'm just saying
it.
No, but I'm just saying in terms of the whole thing of lifting, you alluded to earlier the whole thing of the supernatural intervention, understanding that the supernatural has put in you the capabilities, all that you need to survive and to succeed in life is within you. You just need to tap into that in order to be lifted and soar. Is that what? Yeah. Okay.
So let's understand something now, because some of you are saying, how will I lift? I'm too heavy. Or it is precisely because you're heavy that you will soar. Because it is the force that opposes weight and causes it to lift. If you think about it, the heavier you are, some airplanes weigh more than 1 million pounds. Yet they fly and they soar and they gain altitude and they level out, and of course the laws of gravity will assert itself. Eventually it must come down, and those who are traveling in it pray that it come down safely. But for the time and the journey that you're on, it's important that it can maintain its altitude, and once it catches that wind and it enters that new space where the law of gravity no longer operates in that way.
It's still operating, but you have overcome gravity.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it.
It doesn't operate to bring you down.
It's always
the laws are still in effect once you enter the level where the law comes into operation. At that point, it's because you want to land.
You want to land, but just understand, as somebody says, you have what is dragging you down, so you have to overcome that in order to lift yourself.
Thrust.
Yeah. Thrust is going forward.
Yeah, I don't. Right. So we're not gonna go into all of the
physics of the moment.
Yeah, because of course I bring it up. Lift, thrust, drag, and weight. I have it all on my screen. I just want to bring into alignment the spiritual conversation we're having with how the laws work in the natural realm, and understand that whether you're talking about an airplane or a man overcoming circumstances, it's the same principle. The same principles are at work in the natural, in the spiritual, in the and against you in your personal circumstances. So I want to shift mindsets from feeling that you just need to overcome and get to tomorrow to no. You're gonna lift yourself out of this realm, this dimension, move to higher ground, and be able to build and extend the wealth that we create in the work that we're starting to do here.
And just to add to that, the dimensions of the covenant that we are in as Christian is a covenant that removes limitations. Removes limitations,
Yes.
removes limitation, all limitations that you've put on yourself. And most of the limitations that we put on ourselves are in terms of mindsets, the way that we see ourselves, the way that we see other people, and more important, the way that we see God are the limitations, like it to be the gravity that keeps pulling us down. But in this, the new covenant which we have in Christ, it is one that removes limitation and lifts you into the stratosphere of being excellent, being more than enough in every situation and circumstance. I'm just tying in the spiritual principle in regards to that, because when we think of Egypt and going into the promised land, because the promised land is the promises of God that God wants to lift you into. And so it's important that you understand that. So coming out of Egypt is a place of limitations into what? The promises of God for your life that cause you to live and to achieve, to be not just enough, but more than enough for what you need in terms of your circumstances. So God wants to lift you.
And we want to be lifted.
Yeah. And we need to be change our thing.
All right, I want to do a quick update on our 1660. By the way, my son made let me show it to you, a logo.
Your son?
Which
one of them?
Little one. Daniel, the 14-year-old. He did a logo for us. I want to show it to you. I gave him a brief, and he just kind of came back. Gave him a brief. He laughed at my attempts, my artwork.
He laughed? That's what they normally do.
Yes, he laughed at my artwork.
This
but,
is not arty enough.
It was. Here it is.
It's as we continue to speak about.
There it is. 1660.
Oh.
Map of Jamaica, done in the colors of the flag and with the design of the flag in the background, and 1660 across it. I've only asked him to reduce the size of the inn so it doesn't look like going.
It looks like going, yeah. But we're going somewhere with
going.
1660.
Yeah. So, on the air yesterday, I spoke about just setting up a WhatsApp group, because I want persons who are coming on board for this to have a direct communication channel to us. Let me repeat the number. The WhatsApp number is 876-361-6583. And then, because I had received numbers from various persons who said, they want to participate in one way or another, I created a group with about 19 or so persons. I had numbers for them in my notes from the show over the months that we've been doing this. And so if you received an invitation to be a part of a WhatsApp group and you're not fully understanding why, but please just look at the messages. It should say that it's Minett Lawrence from the Morning Connection. If I have put you in the group and it's not the group that you want to be in, you can just safely exit the group, or let me know as a courtesy that this is not your area of interest, and I will remove you from the group, and we can have communication on other issues as you feel led. But please, those who want to participate in the 60 in 60, there's a group that is live on WhatsApp. I have put on the group the registration form so that you can register your community group, and I've also put a fact sheet about the initiative, the project, intending that those of you who want to encourage other communities to participate, you can share the fact sheet and you can share the registration sheet. Pastor Percival, I think we're going to need to do a little bit more to ensure that we drum up the right level of support. activity to get this project well underway. When we return from the break, because I've just got the signal, it's 7 a.m., we're going to come back, talk a little bit more about getting you started with this initiative, and then we can discuss a little bit more on how we will seek to attain lift as a nation so we can overcome the consequences of war and also the consequences of the besiegement that this country has existed under for maybe 60 years. Certainly, we know that slavery was a direct assault on our freedoms, but post-slavery there have been some things that really haven't advanced our cause to the extent that we would desire. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Food, music, and culture are some of the things Jamaica is known for worldwide. Add style to the mix and you get the essence of our local fashion industry. If you're a local designer and looking to expand your skills, then the Jamaica Business Development Corporation JBDC is hosting a series of textile workshops in March just for you. Today, JBDC CEO Val Rivera gives us the 411 on the workshops and more. The three-part series will focus on a number of areas that will improve the techniques of the designers and introduce some new ways to create unique Jamaican patterns.
So under the Festival at the Top, what we're trying to do is to build a cottage industry, much as you see in Nigeria, where, we always want fabric when we travel there. It's done by small producers, but it is commercially viable. So it's not a hobby. It's a real industry, but it's a specialist industry. And so through our Festival of the Craft program, what we're trying to do is stimulate the concept of using the technique from Nigeria, mainly batik and tie-dyeing, but putting our own symbols that speak to our history and our culture.
These techniques can assist the local designers to tell stories about the Jamaican culture using fabric, further helping our industry stand out against the world's best.
The techniques that will be demonstrated in the series, which is a program of 3, will speak to practical application. So like the first one that starts in March speaks to design, motive, and block cutting, which is again a special technique, and that is going to be by technology, by Zoom. But when we come to waxing and dyeing, it's going to be face-to-face.
The face-to-face sessions will be hosted at the JBDC's Marcus Garvey Drive facility to give participants a practical experience of learning the techniques.
And this is where we have it in 2 parts. One is on March the 16th to 18th, where it's when the face-to-face will actually come into our facilities at Marcus Garvey Drive, where we have our Industrial Research Center. And that would be like foundation. Those people who have never been exposed would be exposed then. And then the second one, which is what we call the Master Program, March 30th to April 1, will be an advance on that second workshop.
Ms. Vera says although the designers will be learning a Nigerian technique, they will be encouraged to develop a bank of uniquely Jamaican symbols.
The main event for us is for us to develop a bank of symbols and designs that speaks to Jamaica. I want to emphasize that we are sharpening our techniques from Nigeria, but the output, the designs, would speak to our own culture. What we have moved with from Africa, but what we now have as Jamaica. And that is the excitement for us, because the textile then would be not only for wearing apparel, but of course there are many surfaces that you can use those designs on.
She's encouraging persons to sign up for the workshops as the application of the techniques are endless.
We're really selling the message that this is not a hobby. Small as a country we are, each community has a history, We want to see that translated into designs and symbols that we can use on our textiles.
JBDC CEO Val Rivera. For more information and to register for the workshops, call 876-928-5161 or visit www.jbdc.net.
Rio Grande to the South Coast. Hotel workers and man we're off boat. This a for the craft vendors, red cap porters and transportation at airport. Jamaica tourism pension plan, building towards the future. For tourism workers across the island, retirement benefits to contributions. Every worker in the industry, permanent self-employed contract. For your service you deserve security. Yes you do. Tourism workers pension plan, build a bright future. Yes you can. Tourism workers pension plan, workers invest through contribution. All tourism workers, age 18 to 59. Tourism workers pension plan.
Start making your contributions for a brighter future.
For further information, visit mot.gov.jm or call 876-920-4926-30.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
My station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM, keep listening.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
The Aeronautical School of the West Indies presents Squawk 876, a fun and informative program where you will learn about flying, aircraft systems, weather, maintenance, and much more. Tune in to Bess 100 FM this and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Live the life. Respect the music. And keep your radio locked in.
Best 100 FM.
Half a tree. One already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Just pay your dues, my friend. Take my medical news. Oh, doctor, come to meet my patient. Oh, doctor, come to meet my patient.
Praise the Lord, God is good. This is a radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection, and thank you for sticking with us. Pastor Percival had a very interesting experience yesterday, and you know, in just talking about it, it's his experience to share. I'm just prompting him to share it, but to create a context for sharing it. We're talking about lift.
Yes, it is.
And decidedly so, because we want to shift from sort of more of the same, or sometimes even less. There is a principle too, you know, that to whom how it is. The person who have plenty will get more, and the person who have little will lose.
Yes, that's what the Father shared in Jesus. That's what he shared. He's doing it prophetically in the spirit. Receive the new vehicle that you're about to get. Hallelujah. Yeah, but as we were talking about it, actually Monday last week I was in an accident. And we settled, but I haven't fixed my vehicle. So yesterday I decided that I would.
I just love it how you say I was in an accident. No, you create the accident.
Yes. And then our accident, whatever the thing was, yeah. On Monday,
let's start over. Monday, I ran into the back of a man's car.
Yes.
Yes.
And we said, but in an accident.
Yes. Not in an accident. A passenger in a bus being driven by another man is in an accident.
But anyway, I settled with the gentleman.
Yes.
But my car never seemed that there was much damage to it. But I kept saying, let me go and check it. So finally I go to my body man and they say I have to lift off the front. When he lifts off the front, he says, but it's some major things underneath here. So I say, okay, what he can do. Then he says, the thing that holds the radiator, the frame is broken, it's fiberglass. I'm going to try to fix it. But when he looks at it and says, no, you better get one. So I go to my parts man and him say, you the pan radar, right? Me say, no, I know me. Him say, no, man, are your voice? It's your. I know me. I say, I know me. Him say, whatever, it wasn't me. But he said, no, but he says, for the last 3 weeks in coming down in the mornings, I've been asking myself, I know that voice. But anyway, he listens to the program and he finds it quite interesting. But him said, I was thinking though, we can advertise for your program. So I say, yeah, man. So he gives me his card and send the proposal. Now, for me, if that never happened in terms of me running into the back of the gentleman, creating an accident, fixing it, I would never had this opportunity where somebody expressed an interest. I never prompted him. He says, I'd love to advise advertise in the program because I think you're doing a good job in terms of the issues. It's very interesting and so on. So him said, my radar stuck there. My radar stuck there in the mornings when I'm coming down to my business place. So big up to Mr. Powell. Yes, that's lift.
That's lift.
That is you look at it and
facing adversity and using it to achieve something higher.
And because I have taken a decision. When I asked him what the cost of the part was, him tell me I broke into Handel's Hallelujah. Hallelujah chorus. I'm going, they say, what happened to you? I says, Hallelujah. So I just found the price of the vehicle. And I'm saying, all right, you know about this, Father, so let's deal with it.
So you went straight to the parts man, and your next stop will be the new car dealer. But we're sharing it because I said to Pastor Percival, sometimes bad things happen to you. Bad things, we're not going to sugarcoat it and say it is a blessing in disguise. We weep and we mourn and we know say it bad. It hurt us, and all we see are the things that fall to the ground when certain things happen to us. I've experienced it. You have experienced it.
Tell me about it, sister. Somebody said me if I tell you.
There you go. We have our stories. Now, when these things happen, you can say, all right, I've been gravely injured. I'm going to check myself into hospital, and this injury looked like it's fatal, so I'm going to, put my house in order so I can shuffle off. You can say that, and do you know what? It is not, I make no judgment. For some, that is the decision that you take. Another person might say, well, this could be a mortal injury, but guess what? It could also be the opportunity for some cutting-edge new therapy to cure my situation.
Which is what happens in a lot of situations. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And this is now where we talk about facing the adversity and bracing into it such that it lifts you. Yeah. And I've just created a very crude scenario of how it operates. You may walk around your community and see such decay and stagnation, and even sometimes to interact with members of the community. You might stand looking at your neighbor's broken down fence or the whole heap of zinc, and instead of your neighbor saying, "Can I help you?" them say, "What are you looking at me yard for?" and begin to give you a good tongue lashing.
A good cussing.
And yes, and that experience might cause you to say, "Oh, this can't change. I have to wait till that neighbor die." Or some of the hopeless, despairing things that we say when we see more than we can easily take on. But you can step above it and say, you know what? How dramatic is this change going to be? How much of a motivation will it be for others in like circumstances when we pull partners together and rise above it? And so maybe you wait out the neighbors cussing and you go back with a peace offering and say, you know why I was looking? I was wondering, how could I help to do this or that? What do you need to move in this or that direction? It's going to take some amount of sacrifice, meaning you have to sacrifice pride, such that if someone assault you or talk to you in a way that you would normally find disrespectful, you're gonna have to suck it up and say, I am aiming for something higher. I'm just giving little pointers on how personally how I sometimes have to take adversity right on the nose and use it as the power,
catalyst.
the force that gives me lift.
Catalyst for change.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. And so our encouragement to persons who continue to listen on the web, on Facebook, is look at your present circumstances and determine in your mind, mindset change. How is it that I'm looking at it as a opportunity? That's it, an opportunity for change, or what would be the opposite of that? Letting it stay the same way? But they're just looking at it as an opportunity, because mindset change is the most important thing that needs to happen in our lives as we exist as human beings on this planet Earth. Yeah.
So, for those who are interested in the program, there's a registration form. It is very simple. First, you have to give the name of your group leader, which I expect it to be your name. If it is your idea, put yourself as the person leading the charge. That can change when you bring others, and you may decide that someone else is better suited, but you remain a part of the group. There's no shame in bringing an idea to the table and then letting others who have more time or resources or who have more experience lead the charge, but you remain as a good support.
Yeah.
So I require a name. We need your address, and if you have an email address and contact numbers, then of course we need to have those details as well. Then we need a name of the community and a description of your community. And here's what I mean by description. You're going to do like a profile of your community. My community is rural, or it is urban, or it is suburban, or it has no particular character. It has churches, 2 or 3, name them if you can. There are schools in my community, the different schools. If it's high school, right, whatever it is. We have business operators in my community. Give a general description: 20 bars and 6 hairdressers, there's no activity in my community. It's a community with mostly old people and young children. Describe the road conditions. You have main road, parochial roads, just tracks, whatever it is. How do people navigate the community? Do you have banks in your community, post offices? What's important as we are talking about community, you have to consider, what do I want my community to give me? Do I need certain things to be conveniently located in my community? Maybe what you want in your community is an ATM, a courier service to be established, something. Give a description of what's there now. Do you suffer from gang-related activities? You can include that in your description, in the description of your community. That is important. Do you have electricity infrastructure, water infrastructure, telecommunications infrastructure, etc.? If you have, you just, give a description of your community. Now, understand that if you have an elaborate description or no description, it still says something about your community. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
If you have plenty to say or little to say, it says something about your community, and it even says something about your own perspective of the community.
Yeah.
And those are important details.
That is important because it speaks to real issues, as if you understand what are the real issues happening in your community, and it helps you to define your project in terms of what is there and the availability of resources to help you in your community. So those things are very important.
Then the estimated population of the community.
You can pick that up from SDC, which profiles most communities in Jamaica. Their website, they do
but this in many ways, this form is to reflect your knowledge of your community.
Okay.
So if you think that is 200 people, 10 households, however you represent it, or maybe what you are addressing is a community within a larger community, state what the population that you want to address. Then we want details of your proposed project. And for this, a rough outline is sufficient. And the need that you identify should be apparent from the conditions shown in your video or photo journal. So don't allow a disconnect to arise between what you say and what you have captured visually. Make sure that there is some degree of alignment. That's important more so for how you build out your project than even for our understanding of it, because if you don't have a clear line between what you see and what you want to accomplish, then it means your vision is impaired. And if your vision is impaired, you will not be able to accomplish. Absolutely. There has to be a unity, integrity of vision and plan. So that is self-explanatory. That is the registration form. Just, you can handwrite it, take a photo of it, and send it to us by WhatsApp so we can begin to build out our 1660. Please, I beg you, treat it seriously and let's get going, because I am really excited by the potential of this project to create lift.
I'm really excited to that it
Let's
is
say that
organic.
again.
I'm really excited to because I'm thinking about how organic it can become in terms of influencing change across Jamaica. I like the logo that Daniel did. It just speaks to what we're seeking to do. And it's a young person. That is their vision so clearly. So I'm excited about what can happen. You hear me always speak about a tsunami of change happening, of love. These projects are rooted in love in terms of real change that we really need to see happening. People taking responsibility, thinking about the other person, not about themselves. It's tremendous. It's going to spark something that, all
right, you finally start to look excited. Before that, it was a work in progress.
I'm going to talk to my wife.
Yes, your wife is lovely. Now she can look excited.
Yes, but she's a drama. She's drama in itself some of the times, in the sense that she's so dramatic when she's speaking. And you think I'm dramatic when you always,
no, Pastor Percival, you are not dramatic.
when your husband always saying to me, keep your hands. You always
no. You just move about and ignore the mic. As a consequence, we are going to invest in, what is the microphone we're getting for the one with the head? This the one that you strap on. It is being crudely referred to as the one that you strap on, because Pastor Percival is fluid.
Just moving around the place.
Yeah. It's because we have no training. We have no media training. We're called to do a particular job, and we're doing it to the best of our ability. And begging everybody else to bear with us. Okay. I want to return to that list of consequences of a siege, because we want no surprises. Personally, I have known that Jamaica has been under siege for a long time, and those who have built the ramparts against our minds and our society are well aware that they are carrying out a siege. We who are on the other side of it now, from time to time, we think it is something else, and that confusion is just one of the consequences of a siege.
Oh, boy.
Personally, I have known that I've been under siege for a long time. Personally, I've seen it. I've contemplated what could be the explanation for certain things, and I realized that some of these events that happen to me are deliberately meant to interfere with my ability to focus and to accomplish. Generally speaking, that is what a siege, that is the objective of the siege, to interfere with purpose, to interfere with well-being, to throw you off course, and by so doing, somebody else gains an advantage. So many times, if you cannot conceive of why you are under siege, just look at who profits from your being thrown off course.
But I want to even,
and that will usually tell you
but
where certain things are coming from and why.
Yeah, but as you speak, something
just
jumped
you're
into
opening
my
up the
mind.
book.
in the simple truth that from a spiritual point of view, even before Minett was born, there's a purpose and a destiny that is in you, is in your seed, in your DNA. And the devil will do everything in its power to destroy, to assassinate your purpose. And he's been doing that for a long time, but you have overcome because it has taken you to a place that you're understanding better purpose, what it is that you're called to do. And even as this is coming to an end, because it has strengthened you have the goal is coming forth out of you. Yes, you are lifting, and when you begin to fly and begin to soar, even as it speaks of in Isaiah 40 verse 26, as an eagle you're gonna be soaring, flying, accomplishing purpose, because now you have gotten the eagle eye and you see clearly what God has called you to do. So all of this has been preparation, but now you're flying, you're soaring as an eagle into purpose, which is bringing glory to your Father. So understand that, please.
Oh, you're prophesying to me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. That's what's been happening.
So hold on. You opened your book. I thought you were gonna have something for the listeners, and then you just focus on me.
Because I say to people all the time, when a word of encouragement comes to you, you grasp it. If that is applicable to your situation, grasp it and run with it, because the word is transformative.
Absolutely. And really, I get asked frequently, how do we choose our topics and how do we identify our focus? And I'm generally very coy about it, because like Colonel Sanders and the secret recipe. You feel like if you say it, you might jinx it. Not really. I have faith, but I am sharing this morning directly from my own playbook, directly from my playbook, and it really is inspired in the sense that I wasn't born, well, you would say I was born knowing, but it didn't just sort of, let me look at it this way then. I didn't come to it by rigorous study and trying to use my sense of the world. It really came out of a more sort of a spiritual place, because every event that happens to me, I look at it to see what opportunity it presents for me to do something better, to exceed where I'm currently standing, and to move above at a higher level to those who are, attacking or creating disharmony.
And not even knowing that they are being used as vessels of something.
Yes, to push me and to lift. So I'm sharing it from that perspective, because I know that with talk of war first, and then actual conflict taking place in Europe, and we are still so tied to all things Europe, I knew that it would be necessary for persons to gain a different perspective. We spent much of February talking about the importance of relationship with Africa, the importance of those relationships to the forward movement, the progress of Jamaica, the Caribbean islands, the African diaspora. Is there a better time to build those links than now?
Now is
because
the time.
as we see Europe in turmoil, and it will take some time for them to restore order, we definitely need to have alternatives. Definitely. We cannot allow our fortunes to be so tied up with what happens in a country that has no I'm not gonna say no relationship, but it is that's kind of like, the hostage and the hostage taker continuing to have a relationship after the crime has been committed. So we're at that place where, rather than continuing to build and invest in a relationship with those who once oppressed us, we need to find
new partnerships, new relationships.
Absolutely.
And we break on that.
Yes, we're taking our break now. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the future.
We'll be right back.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience, and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call, cause trust me.
Winters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Easy! Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer the truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's in all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record Label at Gmail. Almighty Jah!
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
This is my station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM, keep listening.
Melody in my voice. Kemisha plays the music nice. Melody in my voice. Kemisha full of vibes. Best FM run the town. Yes, I run the town. Hear me loud and clear. They run the country and the town. Or the far and near. Bless the love and to Empress Kemisha on Best FM, and it's all about the resetting. Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on Best FM. Keep it locked. This is Warrior King, the Black Emperor. Come on, tune in.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Well, welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Welcome, Conrad. Please find a way to get in touch with us if you're going to participate in our 1660. Oh, maybe I should just repeat the
WhatsApp number.
The number. What is the number?
361.
361.
I don't remember the rest of it. 57 something or the other. There's a time that I knew it out of me headspace, but I don't anymore.
You're so funny. You start saying the number, and I thought for sure Pastor had it. All right, we'll find the number and bring it up. I, of course, don't keep the number on my fingertips. It's 361-6583.
Nice.
Please, you're listening to us and you have it in your mind to participate in our 1660. Contact us by WhatsApp on this number, 876-361-6583. All right. If you're just joining us, I'm just going to do a very quick recap. I went into aerodynamics and pulled out the principle of lift to start a discussion on how we face adversity and achieve higher ground. Let me borrow from Majestic Faces Online, who says it is a powerful message because you always need to find higher ground. That's just a life principle, really.
True. Yeah.
There's another natural law that speaks to bodies at rest.
Which one is that?
Body at rest remain at rest.
Yes.
A body in motion will remain in motion until it is impacted by an external force.
Right. You remember your thing there, man? Your physics.
There you go. I remember my physics. But I'm always intrigued by how the natural laws that operate in physics, in the physical environment, I'm always intrigued by how those same laws operate in the spiritual, in the invisible, in the let's say non-chemical world.
Somebody would contend physics affects every area of our life.
Yes, so do I. I would contend that. I'm the somebody who would contend that. So even in terms of your emotional response to a thing, it mimics or it applies the same principles that you would find in operation in how a physical object operates in the environment. So I have borrowed and applied the principle of lift to how we respond to the challenges of the time. Powerful forces moving towards us. If we turn and run, it will overwhelm and crush us.
True.
If we face it, and we face it with a certain attitude of preparation and knowledge, and with a vision of where we want to go, we can use that force to attain lift and move to higher ground. That's the principle that we've been discussing. What are the forces that are moving against us? Yesterday, I put forward the argument that while we watch war unfolding in Ukraine and we see the impact that it has on people, on infrastructure, on society, we may be looking and saying poor Ukraine, but if we look at our own situation in Jamaica, we will see that we have been under siege for a very long time and that we are exhibiting the same consequences, the same dysfunctions, the same pain and discomfort, the same desolation and emptiness, poverty, interference with the availability of essential commodities, the frustration, the oppression, the confusion, the sleeplessness, the stagnation, the limitation, fear, intimidation. We are living with those things right here in Jamaica. And we are thinking that we're in peacetime Jamaica. Wrong. We are at war, we're under siege, and we are showing signs of wear. The conversation now is, can you turn, face that,
and soar?
And soar. That's where we are in the conversation this morning. We want to look at the overwhelming array of forces, and look at me, I'm actually positioning it, that are moving against us.
Going against you.
Absolutely. You want to attain the right angle, the right approach, and move into it so that it becomes the impetus that lifts us. That's the conversation. Our 1660 project is one of the things that can cause you to soar. If you look at your community and you see signs of oppression and you see signs of wear, that and by wear I mean erosion of values of when you see those signs, just look at it as an important opportunity for you to turn, face it, move into it, and pull together the resources. And because we have raised this idea and we are standing with you in this moment, we work together to create change. That's where we are. Conrad says 86. What does 86 mean? Explain yourself, my brother. So that's where we are.
But you notice what I'm observing? We are getting new people online. Yeah, because I've never seen...
Our new persons are talking to us.
Yes, or they're probably online and he says he loves it. I found a song, Soar, by Brian Mark.
That's what you were
asking. Soar, we are soar.
All right. So what do you want us to do with that song? Because we're going to open the lines in a short while. We've been trying to open the lines a little earlier these days so we can have more conversation. If you want, we can take the song.
Yes, right.
And then open the line. Are you ready with the song, Mr. Engineer?
He's still searching. Yeah.
No problem.
But it is important, and from we started this program, Minett, according to African, we've often spoken to people about the importance of words that you speak, because you'll get a reward out of it. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, you shall eat the reward thereof. But also, we've often spoken to a very important truth, which is we have to change mindsets in terms of how do we respond to situations. Do we say, I saw it gone, we can't change it? Or is it, no man, I have the power through what God has given to me to change, to transform, to become an agent of change in the situation. And if you have people who are like you, who are like-minded, and you can come together, the Word of God speaks about 2 or 3 gathered agreeing on something, you can bring about change, because then you are tapping into what is already written in the heavens, in the courts. And in the courts it is written that God's throne is built upon righteousness and justice, mercy and truth. And if your projects are aligned with that, it becomes an important thing for you to do in regards to that. So the 1660 is about that. People taking responsibility, individual in groupings, bring about change, which is reflecting the truth that we are our brother's keeper. That's one. And we're thinking about the other person. So we are beginning to soar now. We are beginning to soar in terms of how we're going to respond to the situations.
I want us to have a conversation around something that, in a way, I'm gonna say I want to demystify a principle that we frequently call on, and persons may think that it is we are praying in aid some type of supernatural event. The principle that 3 or more moving in unity releases certain things in the heavenlies. It is not. It does not depend on supernatural intervention, meaning things happening which defy logical or reasonable explanation. And the reason I'm raising it is because persons sometimes become discouraged when they are doing the right things, meaning they are obediently performing the motions as set, but they are not seeing the results with the kind of immediacy that they may want to see. And so they think that what will make the difference is some kind of supernatural intervention. They underestimate or they misunderstand the power of some other things now, like unity, like perseverance. And they generally, and I said they, I'm gonna say we because I've suffered from it, we misunderstand the chemistry that takes place when persons work together in a situation past the odds and the failures and the disappointments.
True.
You really will only understand the alchemy, what is produced, when you have done the time and remain standing to reap the harvest. And I've mixed many metaphors, but all of them to the same end.
So you speak of important things: unity,
yes,
constancy in purpose,
yes, perseverance, yes,
and all of those things,
and overcoming tribulations. You have to suffer a little while before you will even you don't even enjoy it if it arrives in some other way. And I'm making a point of it because as we go through the process, you're gonna hear some no's, things that look like a sure thing gonna take long to come. You're gonna hear yes, but the yes don't convert into
action.
This is not a magical process or supernatural process. This is a very tedious human endeavor of facing adversity and challenge, but it is the perseverance and the unity of purpose that is going to produce the result.
And some of the times what happens, we think of the end results, but a lot of times what happens is that the process is a greater thing.
Of course.
And most people miss that.
Especially when you're talking about community activities.
Yeah, it's a process.
Because there are persons watching the process who are transformed by their observation
of the process. And
Absolutely.
Some of the times the process is even more transformative in terms of the goal that you reach. Because yesterday you spoke to spirit, how important spirit is. But these processes are transformative, transformative because
but you can make up a word in the early morning.
No,
by 10 o'clock it becomes impossible
but
to get away with making up words.
I'm just thinking in terms of the process that you go through. It builds spirit decor that will help you in future things. You might say, oh, we failed at that, but it produces that when things come at you, oh man, you are immovable as a rock. Because you are together, because of the chemistry that
absolutely. So the process itself produces benefits that you can only enjoy if you endure.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make that point because there are many feel-good philosophies and many.
We live in a microwave generation.
Yeah, abundance theories. And the hard work is as important to the process as the result itself. So I felt moved to say that because
it's important because
even
it balances out the thing.
And even now there are persons saying, what's the church doing, and what is the church is like the prince of the feel good. That if you go about doing good for good's sake, it is going to produce a particular result. And when people are not seeing the result, they begin to blame the actors and say, well, you didn't do a good job, or you're not doing your job, or
you don't know
right. So we don't want persons to walk into this process with us thinking that, oh well, Pastor, especially Pastor and Minett are God people, so if they say let's go this way, then it is guaranteed to have you're guaranteed to have a particular experience. No. The only guarantee that I certainly can give is that it is going to be a mixed bag of tricks. You're going to have some good moments and you're going to have some crap moments. And you're going to want to give up and you're going to say, why am I even bothering with this? That is guaranteed. That you will have those moments of pressure and disappointment. But if you persevere, you will attain lift. You will soar.
If you persevere.
When you persevere.
You persevere.
This is Percy again.
Perseverance.
Why did your mother call you Percy? Percival.
I was named after my father. So I'm Percival.
Oh, you're junior.
I'm a junior. Yes. And part of the story is that if you talk to a lot of people early in who I know from childhood, they know me as Junior Palmer. So later on when them hearing
Percival.
Who that? Who that am I talk about?
We have a report from Canada. Is that too much information? Conrad, why are you in your bed? Shouldn't you at least sit up?
No, it should be eating.
Or cooking some sweet yam and saltfish, notwithstanding how saltfish expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to see a mobile library. Conrad, I do you one better. We have a project for mobile education labs. It will include library as a component of it, but we are in the market now scoping that project. And the producer say you must see if you can find a unit over there.
Yes, he could.
Over there.
Because you never know, Yes.
I tell you, so those who are listening on air, one of our listeners in Canada who called to say that he's in his bed listening to the program, and that is just cruelty, because we're not in our bed doing the program.
Him in the cold. Him in bed because he's in the cold. We're in the warmth here. So.
So he has said online that he would love to see library at schools because this can have a great impact on the country. You know, as a child growing up in the
mobile library.
The library van
would
come on a season, and you get an opportunity to change. I cannot recall. I only remember it from kinder days. I don't remember it as a teenager but we did have the mobile library service, and I'm not sure if it is still operational. I don't see why it shouldn't be.
Still, if you go to St. Catherine Parish Library, you see it goes into rural communities that don't have a branch sub-library.
My community is still a rural community, I haven't seen it.
Well, but people can argue that with the advent of cell phone and Google, you don't need a library anymore. What do you think?
No, I wouldn't argue that. You always need a library, but and whether it is in digital form or paper-based library, it doesn't matter. But the technology doesn't reach all the places that it should.
Yeah, so you need a mobile library.
Because
it helps us, though. I tell you, I was an avid reader as a young man. If you couldn't find me like you, where is Junior? I'm inside him room under the bed reading.
That sounded like you were hiding from chores.
No, I was doing my chores.
Yes, I was not under the bed reading.
you were not kind of reading. No, man, I do my chores. I do my chores. I do my chores. my mother and my brothers and sister.
So was this a bit of sexism from your youth? Is it you had to hide and read because boys shouldn't be reading? They should be out climbing trees.
No, I do that too. So that mixed thing. I remember getting a scar in my back because myself and my friend were playing, and we decided to play cowboy and Indians. And in cowboy, you go under the fence, you crawl, and I crawled under a barbed wire fence. And I got hooked, and there's a scar on my back from that. And I'm saying,
so you were the Indian?
Yes.
Or you were chasing the Indian?
No, I don't remember. And then one Christmas, I was the cowboy, and we just got this new. You remember those things? They get the two gun, and my mother gave it to me, and we were racing down the road with our playing cowboy and Indians as we did. And there was some sand, and I did not see the sand, and I slipped and skidded, and I got up. The whole of the side of my pants was torn off, and my skin
rubbed off.
And that was my Christmas present, not the cowboy guns that I had.
All right, so let's. I'm just gonna do a little, psychoanalytical run against one. You in your childhood perpetuating the abuse of an ethnic minority, chasing the Indian, and you got your immediate punishment. Two, how you must long for those days of innocence when a man running down the street with two guns was regarded as a cowboy instead of a gang member.
Oh, interesting.
Can you imagine?
Cowboy and Indians.
I could resist.
Grew up on that genre. Yes. We have a song.
You found it? Found it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We're going to break into song before we take our break. Yes. Yeah. Oh, but the producer has to be prepared. So we are escaping the tyranny of YouTube. Ready for the song? All right.
Danny B, hey.
The other day me a praying, I'ma see this brick wall in front of me. And me I say, God, how me I go through this brick wall? And the Lord says, son, tell the people them say, them not go through the brick wall no more. Them a go over the wall. Lord, over the wall, over the wall. Alright, obstacles in our way. Satan now move, stay, it a stay. But we are real Christians, we not stray. So we take up a Bible for prayer. God said, church, push some more. Me about to give you a outpour. You see the obstacles them on the floor. Don't worry about them cause I swore you a swore. But what you say? Me say I swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about we problems. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about depression. I swore we a swore, we a fly. And your mark get set. You not hear nothing yet. Me a tell us and no worry nor fret. Gotta go give him more than we expect. So read your Bible, connect. Make sure your lifestyle is correct. God precepts, don't forget. And a car you a drive now, a bus you a take. What me say? Me say I swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about we problems. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about depression. I swore we a swore. God said we swore like a moonwalker. And chop the scriptures like a smooth talker. Be the light when the world darker. And expose the devil that evil stalker. Them a fire, well we are real water. Come for baptize the sons and daughters. Say a prayer and fasting will bring water. And nothing can come corrupt the heart. You know why? I swore we a swore. Oh you mean? I swore we a swore, we a fly. I swore we a swore about we problems. I swore we a swore, we a fly. I swore we a swore. I swore we a swore, we a fly. I swore we a swore about depression. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Above poverty, above sickness, over every stronghold. Obstacles in our way. Satan now move, stay, it a stay. But we are real Christians, we not stray. So we take up a Bible for prayer. God said, church, push some more. Me about to give you a outpour. You see the obstacles them on the floor. No worry about them cause I swore you a swore. But what you say? Me say I swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about we problems. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about depression. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about we problems. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore. Me say I swore we a swore, we a fly. Swore we a swore about depression. I swore we a swore, we a fly. Fly, fly, fly, fly,
fly, fly. Fly, fly, fly.
Yes.
We're soar over our problems. We might see the world, but we're soaring. Get ready to fly, people. Get ready to be lifted above circumstances and situations. What do you think? Me see a high five me in the studio.
Yes, because it's the perfect song. It's the perfect complement to what we've been discussing, and to hear it being sung in our dialect, in our with our voice, really Jamaican entertainer,
as Ryan Mark,
makes it even more powerful for me, because a lot of the times we're pulling our inspiration from different cultures, different voices, and some of it is hard to relate to because it don't sound like us. And you have to be thinking about the principle. So it's always better when you hear it in your own voice, which underscores again what we were talking about for all of last month, looking in terms of how our culture impacts development and identity, and just always wanting to see more of ourselves, to hear more of our own spirit evident in the things that inspire us. So I love this. I loved it for. That's why I gave it a high five.
Hey,
I thought, wow, you dug into your library.
I dug into my memory bank.
Yeah, and you pulled out something that.
Yes, as a music entomologist would say, my very good friend, who's a person in terms of patois and the Bible and so on. When you hear something in your heart language, it really resounds with you and with your spirit.
That's why it is so important that we don't underestimate or undervalue the impact of investing in our culture and so on.
Yep. And so we've come up onto our 8 o'clock break. So we thank you for flying with us this morning, for soaring. Wonderful. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
BBC News. Hello, this is Jerry Smith. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has strongly condemned Russia for launching missile strikes into the centre of the eastern city of Kharkiv, killing a number of civilians. Mr. Zelensky added that there were no military facilities in the area hit by missiles, which he said included the city's main square and residential areas.
A missile hit against a city's central square is open, undisguised terror. No one will forgive this, and no one will forget. This missile strike against Kharkiv is a war crime. This is state terrorism by the Russian Federation. After this, Russia is a terrorist state and has to be recognized as such. We are calling on all countries in the world to react to the aggressor's criminal tactic by taking immediate practical steps and announcing that Russia is involved in state terrorism.
In the past few minutes, Mr. Zelensky has received a standing ovation after addressing the European Parliament by video link. He appealed for more European support. An advisor to the Ukrainian president says Russian forces are trying to lay siege to the capital Kyiv and to the second biggest city Kharkiv, cutting off food, water and other essential supplies. Satellite pictures released by an American technology firm show that a vast Russian military convoy closing in on Kyiv now stretches for more than 60 kilometres. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has accused Vladimir Putin of using what he called barbaric and indiscriminate tactics against innocent civilians in his war against Ukraine. Speaking after talks in Warsaw with the Polish Prime Minister, Mateusz Morawiecki, Mr. Johnson said the Russian leader will not succeed.
We will continue to support our Ukrainian friends, and we will continue to do that for as long as it takes. And one way or another, I am absolutely convinced, I'm more convinced than ever, as this hideous conflict progresses, that Putin will fail.
The United Nations says more than 660,000 people are now known to have fled Ukraine since the beginning of the Russian invasion. Most of the refugees are women and children. Kasia Madeira is in Poland near the Ukrainian border.
Behind me, buses coming in all the time to bring people who have just crossed over the border. They're then brought into what is, I can only describe as just a huge warehouse stroke shopping mall, where inside row upon row upon row of camp beds have been put out so people can get just a little bit of sleep, of respite, because they have been travelling for some of them for days.
You're listening to World News from the BBC. India says one of its nationals in Ukraine, a student, has been killed by shelling in Kharkiv. He died when Russian forces blew up a building in the city early on Tuesday. The Indian government today urged all its citizens to leave Ukraine. The first group of Ghanaian students evacuated from Ukraine has arrived home in the capital Accra, although hundreds more are still stranded in the country. Thousands of students from across the African continent have been studying in Ukraine. In other news, a delegation of former senior U.S. officials sent by President Biden has arrived in Taiwan, signalling America's continuing commitment to the island. The timing of the visit is significant, as Michael Bristow reports.
The delegation includes former defence and security officials. They'll meet Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen. There's been an increase in US figures travelling to Taiwan over recent years, but this visit, coming just days after Russia invaded Ukraine, is particularly symbolic. There's been speculation that China, which believes Taiwan is its own territory, might use Russia's military action to push its own claims over the island. Beijing has reacted angrily to the visit, but the US seems keen to show China that even with conflict in Europe, Washington is not ignoring its commitments in East Asia.
Israeli border police have killed 2 Palestinians after coming under fire at a refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. A police spokesman said officers had entered the Jenin camp to arrest a suspected terrorist. The former head of Turkish Airlines, İlker Aycu, has said he won't be taking up the job of chief executive of Air India after criticism in Delhi over his appointment. The Tata Group announced his appointment soon after it took over the loss-making Air India from the government. And that's the BBC News.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
My station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM, keep listening.
Half a tree. 1 already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Just pay your dues, my friend. Take my medical news. Oh, doctor, come to meet my patient. Oh, doctor, come to meet my patient. Oh, doctor.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Live the life. Respect the music. And keep your radio locked in.
Best 100 FM.
He's coming back. Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Best 100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm. Hello there. Yes, indeed. This is the prophet, Reverend March1, inviting each and every one of you to join us for war. It's gonna be a war this and every Wednesday. Of course, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be powerful. Come for the word. Come for the preaching. Come for the teaching. Of course, the music. And of course, midnight warfare prayer with me, the prophet March1, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall, Reverend Eric Box, and of course, Reverend Kathy and Tane for the hard way. Join us every Wednesday night from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Come and join us, will you? Sponsored by all our partners, our friends of the ministry. Will you join us? Yes, indeed. It's going to be powerful. This and every Wednesday, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. We're going to lick it till the bus gone. We're going to lick it till the bus gone. We go.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection, and wow, we got some pictures from Conrad. I particularly love the dog and the liquor on the shelf. please make sure that you tell him. It's always such a pleasure when listeners are able to share something of what they're doing and where they are as we do this journey together. One of the things about radio is that it is so intimate but so impersonal.
Yeah.
You know, you're hearing the voice of the person. It's right there in your ear. It's in your room. You can be doing whatever you choose to while listening to the radio, you know, from bathroom activities to kitchen activities. And it feels like the person is right there. But still, we know so little about each other. So it's always good when you can share a little snippet of what you are doing as you listen to the morning connection. And I love it too that a lot of our listeners are exploring more, reading more, and, you know, kind of taking the discourse to a higher level as we seek to refine how we think and how we treat with some of the issues. I also love it that people are ready to go hand in hand to help each other, to overcome and to share the wisdom and the knowledge that they have. So congratulations to the Bess FM family for managing to keep that spirit going. I was trying to tell if Pastor Percy is at rest or falling asleep or what are you doing?
Right there. I am listening to you.
Oh, because it is so intimate, but I'm right beside you, so I can see what you're doing.
You can see what I'm doing.
Well,
reminds me the security guard who was caught sleeping on the job. So his boss says, I caught you sleep, I catch you now. Him say, boss, give me a break now, man. I was just watching the inside of my eyes.
Yeah, watch the back of your eyes.
That's what I was doing. I'm not sleeping, boss. So he was saying that to the supervisor who caught him.
I'm busy watching the production team across the way doing what they're doing, worried expressions on their face. Are we opening the lines now? I think we should. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So please give us a call, 619-1508. 279-8473. We've been talking about engaging the principle of lift to overcome the pull of gravity. In the break, I was saying to Pastor Percival that I just found myself writing down this thing. The principle of lift defies the law of gravity. What does that mean? The things that are designed to pull you down can be overcome if you engage this principle of lift. And that is what we are encouraging each other to do, to face the pressure and allow the force of the pressure to be the very thing that lifts you to higher ground. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, good morning, CNN. Yeah, the other day,
yes,
I called and they asked me to leave my number. I leave it. I don't know if the email that I send works at bestfm@gmail.com, the morning connection.
Oh no, you have it in reverse. You know how I search for your email? I looked everywhere. I went into every junk mail. I went to the Gmail account. No, it is the Morning Connection, spelled out, THE, Morning Connection, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Because I send a term of reference document that show the local government reform and the structure of communities, just like how you're looking at it. Structure and having it moving from.
Oh, this is my brethren from Yuatan. Yeah. Okay. So we look.
Oh, yes, man. The producer got that email, and I actually have it. I have the document saved, but I didn't see who sent it.
Yes, it's sent from 17locks@gmail.com.
Okay, so hold on. Did I invite you to a WhatsApp group yesterday? Because if you left your number.
Yes, I think I left my number there too. I also did send a flyers of some training that is taking place with an organization, farmer to farmer.
Yes, and I think there was some problem with the date and you sent a correction.
Yes.
Something about with the mango, was it?
Yes. Because what they are doing now, with that training, they will be bringing in person sometime after this training.
Yes.
Circumpose and so forth, do all those type of things.
All right, so here's what I want you to do for me. Here's what I want you to do for me. Just repeat and slowly for the benefit of those who might want to get in on it. Tell me what is to happen now that persons might be able to participate in, and how they can get to it?
All right, the flyer show you the date, which tomorrow will be one of the online training, and next week Wednesday again, and it is from 10 to 2.
All right. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna pull up the flyer when once the call has ended, and just read the information out so persons can benefit. I'm not sure. I hate to do this, but I'm not sure what happened to your number, because I got all the numbers. I thought I did, and I created a group. But since you're in touch with us by email, if you can send the number again, I'd appreciate it, because we are lighting up the 60 and 60, and the kind of initiatives that you're mentioning might be of interest to some persons in that group. Okay?
Yes, I will do that, because I still need to send you another flyer, which these persons are doing another training, and greenhouse growers, which is teaching persons to do as you'd say protective agriculture in greenhouse.
All right.
So we need to see how best we can work along with our people.
Yes.
In advancing themselves.
Yes, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Because case also does with IPRO is teaching persons to upgrade how they look about their pigs and so forth.
Right.
They have a program like that going.
Yes.
And they will be looking at doing it sometime with crop growers and such like. So we need to verify our person.
Yes,
so
and share the information and encourage others to participate. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
I need your number. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
That was your turn.
Good morning. Is there another call? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was saying that was your turn. The gentleman who called from your turn was in a cooperative. There are some banana growers, some farmers. So, and he had said it seemed that he was exposed to how you do co-ops and CDs.
Right.
So he was offering information. So
yes,
I'm glad that he followed it through.
Yeah,
a good resource person for us. In terms of doing
I have to track down though, because I think I know Lowell got the email. He shared the document with me, forwarded the document with me, and I have it, which I'm going to go through to see. It's a document from 2012, so I wanted to go through to see to what extent it is still, and to use it. This I love it that the show becomes a floor for the exchange of information and ideas. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
My sister.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Morning, Pastor.
Hey, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, man. I wake up this morning feeling great, man.
What? Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah, man. Good news, man. The students our students are safe, man.
Yeah, man. Yes. That's good news. Yeah. We've been tracking it, you know. Because we were tracking it, and it's good. And it's man,
that's a great lift for the whole nation, man.
Yeah, man.
And one of the things I was listening to they were interviewing the students. And one of the great things that I was listening is the cooperation, how they band together.
Yeah, man.
In order to fight out this.
To survive. To survive.
Yeah, man. And I made an observation. I don't think most Jamaicans will probably is going to observe what I observe and things. I was observing when I was watching it, you watch it on the internet and so on. You see the discipline of the Ukrainian people under this adverse condition.
Yeah, it's true.
When they were lining up to reach to Poland, they were in a straight line.
Yeah.
They were all in a straight line, and the opposite, the line adjacent to them was empty, and nobody chose to overtake, to go in front.
Wow.
Apart from us Jamaicans, we did it. I'm sure that the driver of the taxi that was taking the Jamaicans, we were the ones that was urging the driver to do something like that. Me and those 100%. They were the ones that urged the driver to do that, you know.
To overtake.
Yes, trying to get to the front.
Oh Lord, yeah.
So in our list celebration and so on, I think we need to reflect on that part of our culture, you know.
Yeah.
The part that we must always try to reach, to beat the line and go in front at all times.
It's true. It's not a good part, not a good reflection on us as Jamaicans. I see it all the time. You see people driving. I was wondering. I was in the traffic yesterday, you know, and here we are at group of traffic. I know what came out. The state bus, the big yellow bus came and made another line of traffic, and I'm saying, look at that. Man. And I'm saying, what's happening here? I couldn't believe it.
But you know, there is a balance to be struck between we're gonna call it now sheep-like mentality of just standing in line and having the presence of mind and the boldness to seize an opportunity that is there to be taken. There is a balance to be struck between the two extremes. As you were speaking, I reflected on the history of the Soviet Union and the Ukrainians. It was 2014. They came out of one conflict, and they were a part of Russia, where you had to learn how to stand up in line and wait on things. So some of what you see there, some of that discipline, is coming from the political history, but a lot of change and a lot of good things come out of persons having the boldness to know when you break ranks and take an opportunity that is present. I'm saying it because I don't want us to be too rigid in our views and not appreciate that great change, good change comes out of that kind of boldness.
I am disappointed in that comment. I am so disappointed for you to make a comment like that.
Which one of the comments?
The one that you said was hard for break the line. That's what
the boldness thing there.
Of course, there's boldness in breaking rank and seizing an opportunity.
No. You see what has happened in this country, you know? Intelligentsia and people that you're supposed to know better support some kind of little thing that is pushing us. It's the culture thing that we have in the music. I remember.
All right, I'm going to be bold and break ranks because I have another call. So while you're being disappointed with me, you can reflect on it and call me back.
She played advocate here, but I think she supports your point, man.
Like that, man.
All right, we hear you. All right,
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Raspal. How you doing?
Good morning, Pastor. How you doing?
Very good, man.
Yeah, but I understand that poor student leaves and leave left back.
Yeah, there are four. I think it's 3 or 4 students that have still not have come out, but most of them in part have not come out. That was the last report we heard.
Most of them have come out.
Most have come out, yeah.
But, yeah, but it means that the mission is not complete.
We know. Yeah, we know.
Still in progress.
But what I'm saying now, and it's getting very crazy, you know, because people find out them up put up a fight, and you know, it can get serious down there. You know? Very, very serious.
It is already serious.
It's already serious, in boss. If you look at some of the pictures, people have lost their lives.
Persons have died, infrastructure destroyed, economy disrupted. It is serious.
Because last count, they had 14 children had died as a result of the conflict and more. But it looks like the losses are greater on the Russian side than from the Ukrainian side. I don't know what that is, what it means, but probably they never expected the people to resist.
They didn't expect resistance.
Yeah, man.
They expected them to stand in line and patiently wait.
No, fruit not fight a whole type of battle, you know them old type of war where man cannot war with a tank.
Boots on the ground.
Them thing no fight war.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm surprised that, well, things will change very quickly because the resources, the technology is there. That 17-mile long convoy that is heading towards Ukraine, I don't expect it to arrive intact.
Let me tell you what the Ukrainian them are doing. It's like a bridge. Anytime they reach a big bridge, the people them cut off the bridge.
Right.
Them chop the bridge and then come down on them at the bridge. You understand?
Yes, you need. It's the old, when Pastor used to do cowboy and Indians. It's the whole business of getting everybody into the valley where you trap them in a narrow space and you can do what you're doing.
Reach Russia, you know. Russia now, they feel like the bigger might than people look how much tank and much. So the people are strategic to keep them and use strategic planning.
Of course. That's why this morning we were engaging the principle of lift to allow.
I was watching it on CNN, and when I look on this young man, you know, about 17, you know. I said, boy, I tell you, that's why, you know, them sending little young man.
Oh, you mean some of the soldiers are children? Yeah. Yes.
And
yeah.
Them are dead, you know.
Yeah.
I tell you, boy, how can go some man?
Power struggle, according to Jabi.
And this is a war now for fight, you know. But then again, but the wait again, you see, but the more use Ukraine now, like Israel in the Middle East, you know. But I don't know. I hope the people are going to do it. I don't know this war about events out. And you can't trust a man like Putin again, because Putin feel like he's a man, you know. He feel like he's a world power, you know.
Well, he's still just a man. I mean, right now he carries. Right now he has the weight of the state on his side because he is the main man. But at any given point, I was saying to Pastor Percival, there has to be at least 4 or 5 different groups trying to figure out how to do a change of power at this time, because it's also a great opportunity for things to change in Russia. And, you know, that's the conversation that I would love for us to engage in a little bit more, to look not just on the international scene at how things are played out and pull some lessons from it, but in our own situation here in Jamaica, to recognize that these moments of great adversity are also opportunities for change. You get a chance to rewrite the rules, you get a chance to pull something out of it for yourself.
Where supply the world comes from Russia and Ukraine. So, you know, it will affect the world. So
yes.
It will affect everything. You understand?
Yeah. Well, I am sure a lot of thought is going into how the situation can be turned on its head to the advantage of others. I don't have a number for you, Raspal. Would you leave a number? We do? Oh, because the producer is signaling to me that we have it.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. Anyway,
oh, okay. All right, my brother. I have another call.
Yeah. And we have to, look here now.
Yes.
We have to give credit to the government to really get the students out, you know?
Don't start us in a brother, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, we give credit to the multiple sources that
people
work
involved.
together.
Yeah.
I still give them
multiple sources involved, huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
I give them a black, not a black mark. That would be a good mark. I give them a red mark for floating this idea of a loan at the time when they could have moved preemptively and got everybody out.
Oh, Lord.
You remember? They wanted the students to sign a loan agreement to cover the airfare to bring them out. It has come down to the wire, but again, I think you're right. Credit is to be given to the hands that work together. The Old Boys Association for the Calabar past students who were there, the member of opposition who gave from his personal resources, the Prime Minister who gave from his foundation, and the hands that work together. But in it, official government don't look good. Thank you, though.
The other 4 out.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, good. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
My brother, how are you?
Yeah, it's a main topic now, the Russia and Ukraine. Right?
Yes.
Do you know why Russia is going into Ukraine? People must know that.
Yes.
The reason.
Yes. What is your take on it?
What I'm saying, who is pushing the issue? Who caused this war? It's not a war anyway. It's an invasion. Who caused it?
Speak, my brother.
It's the United States.
It's your ideas we want to get to know.
How the United States get?
It's the United States. They want to go right into Russia backyard to do what you call it when they and the other company go out and do props war like
what, false flag? What are you talking about? I think I understand what you're saying is that the West is trying to break the stranglehold that Russia has on Europe, and they want to have an ally.
Russia does not have a stranglehold on Europe. It never did. Europe is a country that joined together, but down here, the West, not the West, United States want to be the only sole leader of the world, and that is dangerous. Very dangerous. And any country, anybody hate United States of America is my friend. And is a good person. Anybody oppose United States is a good person.
I see what you mean.
Check history.
I see what you mean. Well, earlier, as we tried to extrapolate from the international into the local, I made the point that when you see some conflict, you can usually determine where it's coming from by looking at who profits from the outcome. So I take it you are doing an analysis and saying the U.S. will profit from the outcome if it is able to establish a presence in Russia's backyard, front yard, kitchen, because the Ukraine is right there.
And U.S. will never accept any country down here to that goes go too close to Russia.
Yes.
I
understand the logic.
Michael Mann and Cuba.
I understand what you're saying, sir.
I want you see.
And by the way, when the UN told United States that Iraq did not have any nuclear and they still attack and kill so many innocent people, what did Jamaican and the world say? I was the only one opposed that war. No? I was in Cayman and everybody thought I was an idiot, I was a terrorist. Yeah.
Them consider a terrorist, Santa?
Huh?
Because you have an opposing views to them say you were a terrorist?
Yes, they see me as the wickedest man, you know. Oh, I was the only one, just like this president, the roast breadfruit one. I was the only one opposed that guy.
Who's the roast breadfruit president?
He's all right. You know.
All right, we're taking the break now.
Santa, thank you.
Maybe.
All right, Santa, you have got to tell us that at another point. We're going for the break. Thank you.
Pastor, you know who I am, roast breadfruit president already.
We'll be right back.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
This is my station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM, keep listening.
Melody in my voice. Kemisha plays the music nice. Melody in my voice. Kemisha full of vibes. Best FM run the town. Yes, I run the town. Hear me loud and clear. They run the country and the town, or the far and near. Bless the love and to Empress Kamisha on Best FM, and it's all about the reset, you know. Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on Best FM. Keep it locked. This is Warrior King, the Black Emperor. Come on, tune in.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
All right, I am looking forward to Enlightened Self-Interest calling me back so we could have a full conversation on that point.
I think you were pulling. I understand what you were saying, but you see, some of the times we must see the major point, because some of the major point he was making in terms of the discipline.
I saw the major point.
You know, but it does.
But discipline is both discipline is both a weapon and a tool.
But I think you were just being
provocative.
I know you were being Minett.
I was being provocative. I wanted him to
explore that, because that is an important point, because look what, if you use Ukraine as an example, Putin expected the people not to resist.
Expected the sheep to line up for the slaughter.
Yeah, and some of the times, as I think it's Einstein who says, if you keep thinking a certain way, you'll not get real results. You have to think out of the box, and that is how progress and change really happens in everything. Yeah. Africa is in trouble.
You have to read it. Well, Conrad, we get you, brother. Here's our one of our family members saying that Africa is in trouble and we are trying to shift focus to pay keen attention to all problems that affects the planet we call home. However, our homeland, Africa, needs some real attention from the diaspora. Very true. And it's in a symbiotic relationship between Africa and her children that a future of prosperity and success lies. That is my belief. Climate change will force the inevitable, my brothers and sisters, yes. Anywhere that has the potential for extreme weather conditions will be in problems if things go a particular way. The truth is, it is really the working together that's going to make a difference.
We know that.
It really is.
But I'm just reflecting on all of the things that are happening. And I'm so grateful that my friend Abu Alkebulan showed me something when he sent us that picture and said, Bongo Percy.
Oh, the books. the books.
That Bongo, yes.
They have your book too.
They have my book. And I was saying, but it's true, because all of this is, you see, history in living color happening right in front of your eyes.
So by the book, let's be clear, the book that Percy is talking about is the Bible, because so much of what's in the Bible, we see it coming to pass in one way or another. And those who want to say the book, it is an irrelevant book, make a mistake, and those who treat it as though, and those who read it without understanding, they also make a mistake. I was making the point to, do we have a caller? Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Mrs. Lawrence.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you today, sir?
I am good, Pastor.
Good, man.
I hope you're even doing better than I.
Oh, man. We'll watch it.
Yes. Just to share some information that came out over the weekend. There was a study done in Sweden recently. I think in vitro study, which means it was not on human, but it was done on liver. And they look at Pfizer's effect on the liver. And it has been now seen that the Pfizer vaccine actually creates a DNA that goes back into your nucleus. That RNA has a reverse translation that goes back into your nucleus and become as a DNA. And so the study is, and no expert, but it's clear that the Pfizer vaccine affects the liver in a way that it recreates the DNA, a synthetic DNA from the vaccine. And the guys who did the study in Sweden said it is carcinogenic, which means it can then lead to cancer of the liver. These are findings that we're not hearing about, Also, out of that study too, they discovered that a genetic material that was patented somewhat 4 years ago appears in the virus. So that's another concern. How can something that has been patented by somebody years ago end up in the virus? They are saying nature was got 1 in about 10 million that nature could do that. So these are some of the concerns that are emerging from studious scientists who are doing real work and helping us to understand what we are into with these vaccines. These RNA vaccines that was specific.
Did they have any information in it on any discussion on the impact and any kind of statistical reference as to the probability of these things occurring, to adversely affect our well-being? Was there any discussion on that, or it's just the raw data coming out? That
no, yes, they deduce that they put forward. I would say
yes.
That because it's a synthetic, well, it's not a synthetic, not natural. Then it can lead to what they call carcinogenic effect to the liver, which can lead to cancer of the liver. And because of that concern, they are now going further to look at the effect of the vaccine on the placenta. But I think there's a connection there too.
Okay.
So just sharing those information with you and with.
Yes, I think Pastor is looking for it. The reason I asked about impact is because raw data in and of itself can be very intimidating and can give rise to anxiety. But sometimes when you are able to look at the statistical likelihood of a profound impact on individuals, it gives you a better opportunity to understand it and to be less fearful of it and to pick a course on how you can mitigate against some of these effects. The truth of the matter is the food we eat, everything that the way we are living, all of these things create stress on our bodies and create harm one way or another. And it just requires a lot of careful assessment and changes to the diet and the exercise programs and so on for persons to be able to cope.
However,
yes.
It is wicked and that to force anybody to take a therapeutic that nobody knows about the effect.
Yeah.
Long term. And that has been the question that people have been saying. We were in stage 2 and there should have been phase 3, but explorative. So it's unfortunate that has happened, and we hope that we would never say we told you so, but more and more the studies are coming to the fore, which is unfortunate.
The conspirators I know, because I no longer conspirators. They are really, people are asking the right question.
People are, yes, and there is always a need to ask the right question, whether persons are deliberately seeking to obfuscate the matter or trick you, or there's always a duty to ask the right questions. That's the right time.
I want our brothers and sisters to focus on the science, focus on the real science.
Yes.
Do your readings and try to understand.
And read with understanding. All right, my brother. Thank you so much.
Don't stick with the propaganda and the push.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Africa love and brother bongo, bongo.
You're mixing up your bongos now, you know.
I mix up the bongo thing, you know. One bongo, bongo.
Okay.
Only one.
One bongo Percy. How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm here, my sister.
I left the document for you with the staff at the office here whenever you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I will try to pick it up today.
Okay.
All right, Ross.
And you also have it on WhatsApp if you need to share it.
You know something?
Yes.
It's kind of come away to me. All right. Some people is talking about this war. And to me, it's a limited war, you know. You have limited war and you have world war.
Yes.
So to me, this war is a limited war between Ukraine and Russia. I don't want to consider me racial. But for the longest time, I hear white people are kill off white people.
Well, you did.
White people are kill off black people.
Yeah, well, you did have what was going on in Syria.
Right. You know, I'm not saying my sister, my brother. All of these things been prophesied, you know.
True.
And all of these things going to happen.
True.
And look how great we are. These things need to happen to free black people and free Africa.
You know what I mean?
All the things work together.
Eh?
All the things, all the events work together
to accomplish
the purpose.
Right? No, I don't want no one to consider me racial. But this is just reality, and these things are prophecy. You know, I didn't make any prophecy, but these things I read about it. You know what I mean? And I believe that this is a signal that one should realize now that it's full-time Africa, you know,
yes,
for the Africans.
Well,
you know?
I mean, between the act of man in destroying the environment, as is happening there, and the potential for disastrous climate activities, a certain amount of pressure is mounting up. Yes, it is fulfillment of prophecy.
Fulfillment.
And on the other side of it, we know what we are supposed to do. Those who believe and who know the road to follow. And it does not change. That road don't change. The things we need to do don't change based on where things are happening and what is happening and who's at the helm of it, which is why we're trying to stay the course with the initiatives that we are supporting to build our own.
So we're not to be surprised. You know, we're not to worry ourselves.
Well said.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you, Russ Kremlin.
We have a war here in Jamaica, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we're a terrible war. And the war we have in Jamaica is all we are killing one another.
True.
All right. You speak about enemies. And you speak, you know, that we don't know our enemy, you know. Our enemy. We were taught to believe that we are enemies of ourselves. But we have true enemies. You know what I mean? So when we can identify our true enemy, and not our brothers and our sisters are our enemy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because your true enemy having us this way.
Yep. And every now and then he puts on a disguise and changes his face, and you have to be.
Word he used. You know, yesterday. Seizure. That's what it is. Yeah. No. Nobody don't know what is a ghetto, you know. Or what ghetto was. Ghetto was a building, as what you speak about yesterday. A wall around an environment of people.
Yes.
Unsanitary. Listen. It become a mentality now. But if one really go back and say, what is ghetto? Where there was no sanitation, it's like a big pen. You know what I mean? And you use 15 words, 15 suggestions yesterday.
Yes, the consequences.
What you have made. You know what I mean? This is what the Jamaican people are going through.
Yep, we have it here.
Yeah.
All of the 15 things that you mentioned, would have multiplied, you know, double it, 30.
Yeah.
This is what Jamaican people are going through. You know what I mean?
All right, my brother, this morning we talked about engaging the principle of lift so we can use that same adversity to propel us to higher ground. So that is the focus now, because we are determined not to be pulled down by it and to be dragged.
And I am Bess FM and Bonga Percy and the producer.
All right.
And the engineer. Continue to do your great work.
Thank you, my brother.
Right,
have a good day.
Thanks, my sister.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Greetings, Queen.
Hi,
and greetings to my nation of people.
All right.
Morning, sir.
And we have to sound the trumpet here this morning.
Aye.
Psalm 29, verse 4. Revelation 5, verse 5. Psalm 68, verse 33. It said, the voice of the King has voice of the king is full of majesty. Yeah! Rastafari, Almighty, the King of Israel that ever liveth, ever faithful, ever sure. I want to know how to get ready, Jamaican people. Them are disrespect, you know, and them don't know so no king live among you know. And that's the secret. The secret is, king live among you know, dwell among you know. I came to my own. They accept me not. Because they claim they know me. They know my father, my mother, my sister, my brother, so I can't be nobody. Wrong. I am someone. So who don't recognize who is the king of creation, the son of man, that dwell in flesh among mankind? Then I'm sorry for you know, because I'm not in the sky. I only shine from the sky because I'm the light of the world. Revelation 5. I saw one sit in the sun with the face of man. His voice is powerful. I don't know something Jamaican. I love her so much. And what I see the Prime Minister do too, you know, my heart bleed. Because when we see the wickedness of American, Babylon, that destroyed the entire world. Because American right now cause the war of Russia, you know. And because of stubbornness, ignorance, they cause the war of Russia. And now, between Ukraine, Russia, and the other country, you know what going to take place in the world? Let me tell you something, Jamaican. Go by cursing aisle, on a matches, on a thing, head to the hills.
Back to basics.
And do a deal. Buy food and put on car. You know, say last week, I buy a quart of Jamaica rum. $3,000, the Imperial quart. This morning, me go me buy 1 quart. The people tell me it's $3,250.
It's gone, no?
From last week to today. $250 is gone on the rum just, sir.
What you doing with so much rum?
Yes.
All right. I'm a physician.
Okay.
And when it comes to ganja,
yes, man.
Ganja,
say no more.
Black mental crystal and pimento CD with white rum.
Say no more. Say no more.
You understand?
I know that one.
The fever, the so-called COVID, it's good for it.
It is good for everything.
You cure your cough. Just take a little shot of white rum. All right? It stop the coughing almost instant.
Yeah, man, it is Jamaica's #1 medicine. My brother, thank you very much. Thank you.
Good.
The people I love you know.
Yes, I love you too, man. This morning was special, powerful. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, my sister, I'm here again.
I was hoping you would call back.
Yeah, man. You see,
yes.
the position and the take this man, you see?
Yes.
You have to be careful in the environment, what the society we live in, you can't take those positions, you know. We have a society that that people are so desperate.
Well,
we have a society of desperation. People are fighting for food, always fighting for food. So we have a society like this, where the main focus on our Jamaican people every day is to try and find food. And because it's only food they're thinking about, it is difficult for them to even contemplate doing other things, you know, because, for argument's sake, can you imagine if a disaster should break out in Portmore? And with the limited amount of exit from Portmore, are we supposed to exit Portmore in say 3/4 hour? How many of us would die?
Yeah.
Because of the mentality that we have.
Yeah. And I'm enlightened. We understand. And we endorse your point 100% in terms of what you were saying in terms of the breakdown of discipline within the society. So we agree on that. But what I think my sister was also saying, that she was opening it up, having, that is ground basic, you know.
But I don't think it requires any explanation or support.
No, but
the point
sister,
speaks for itself.
You're talking about the head of the people. I understand what you're saying, you know.
And I hear what you, some things we think it and we know it to be so, we don't necessarily say it. But sometimes, because of where we are in and the project that we are launching, we have to kind of jig people out of the usual mentality, whatever that mentality is. Maybe it is to stand in line and you need to break line. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
There you go.
So you're in agreement with what she said?
Yeah. So I know we speak the same language.
On the surface, it is difficult to just say that to the people.
They don't understand. I agree what you say. They understand what you say. Agreement.
But you see, it's in the sharing of the ideas that the full discussion takes place and others are edified. So, mission accomplished.
Accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
All right, then.
Okay.
Is there another call? Okay. So I'm so glad he called back because, these points are important. And when you're striving for change, you have to have the mentality and the mindset for it. And, one of the things I think about, they say necessity is the mother of creation. What is necessity the mother of? Invention. Or creativity.
Yeah.
I was messing with the language. And there are times when necessity pushes you to break rank, and you have to know when is the right moment to do it. And some will die breaking rank, but others will succeed. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Miss Minett.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yeah, blessed good morning and good morning to
Righteousness, how you doing?
Everyone. Yeah, man, blessed. But, yeah, man, the herbalist.
Yeah.
A while ago, the herbalist, I always listen, I always take my advice in herb things, because I like natural things,
Yes.
But no, I'm sorry for disappointing, My God not live on land. God not live in a sinful world. This is a sinful world. And for one thing, God not live in a sin. That's why Jesus said is not of this world. That's why I must say, when we pray, let us pray like this, our Father which art in heaven. Not our Father who live on earth. Because Satan and God, if you want no more, read 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4. As my quote Bible verse. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4, it said the God of this world has blind the mind and from Christ Jesus. So my God not live on land. Even Psalms 115 verse 16 said even the heaven is the Lord, but the earth is for the children of men. So God and man live on the same level. Man live on earth and God live on heaven. So if I want thing, God live on the sin, I'm just having to say no. If you take a plane and fly, you can't go ahead on the more side. But tell them, say my God live way up in the sky. And the next thing what them to know, say, as Job.
So do you mean this literally?
9 verse 24 said this is a wicked world.
Do you mean it literally, righteousness?
And wickedness in this world. That's why you see the woman killing them and going all about over Russia everywhere, Iraq and everywhere. God not live in a sinful world. This world is for we. The man, woman, children and the animal them. My God live way up. If a fire God live in I know, it could never shine for even a fire.
All right. Righteousness.
And man got moon.
Righteousness.
And no man got moon in the past time, but no man never go up in the heaven yet. Never go past the moon. Them can't go in the sun, it's too hot. A fire that. Fire God live in. We shall God live, no man can go see no call come. That's why Elijah go by fire. And we believe the Bible.
Okay,
so we're sorry for disappointing. This really is
all right, my brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Bless, right?
Bless. Yes. Is there another call? No. Okay. What were you trying to tell Righteousness now that he's listening? He's listening now because he's not speaking.
No, but he's quoting scripture. He must quote in a whole lot of scripture in terms of belief. Okay. Believe it at that. And I'm going to counter that. But I just find, what's his name? Tumblr Bob Perry? Let him just read what he said.
I'm not reading that. You can read it.
The callers coming,
Yeah. No, sometimes when you're listening to a person speak, like, he says he believes that God lives way up in the heaven in fire, and that God is not living on earth. And I wanted to know if the influence of God is present in this world.
Okay, which
is some of what the medicine man was saying. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Angel, I have to call you back. Explain this to you.
Yes.
The King Throne is in Mount Zion. All who shall lead to Mount Zion.
Okay.
Everyone shall lead to Mount Zion, the city of the living King. So when you say me to live on earth, that's how I live. Up in the sky, I only shine from the sky because I'm the light of the world. Yes, I'm a living fire because I shine from the sky, which is the energy of the world, but I dwell in earth, because earth is the fullness and everything thereof.
Okay.
So him who I call a tell food foolishness, his God no live by earth. Him not have no sense. Him never hear that.
No, man, no.
All right, no, my brother. All right. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thanks, my brother. All right, so
again, remind our callers the views content you express.
I feel like a school teacher in the classroom telling the boys to stay apart. No,
we're not calling people stupid or anything like that. We don't condone that at all. So he's expressed it, something that people have shared. We don't hold to that, but we don't call them stupid. We just say we have a different thing. So
it seems like a perfect moment to take the break. Can we take the break a few seconds early? All right, so our callers can cool down.
We'll be right back.
Say, let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe on God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer the truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record label at Gmail. Almighty Jah.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
My station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM. Keep listening.
Best 100.5 FM brings you youth empowerment and resilience. A 30-minute program with Royton McLaren every Monday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Your Monday nights will not be the same again. Managing stress, trauma? Let's talk on youth empowerment and resilience with Royton McLaren on Best 100.5 FM every Monday from 7:30 to 8 p.m.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Come back to the morning connection. How you do, caller? Go ahead and speak, please. Welcome.
Yeah, bless you.
Go ahead, caller.
You know, the earth is the Lord. Some people don't know what it means. So, you see, God, everything upon the earth that God created. So, if some people got caught by the verse and they don't know one thing. So
righteousness?
Righteousness?
Is that you, righteousness?
Yeah, righteousness.
You called back to complain about what the other man said?
Yeah, man, so the earth is the Lord. It means.
No, we're not going to do that this morning, my brother. We have another caller on the line.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning. Am I permitted to get a third bite of the cherry, please?
Depends on what you're going to do with that bite.
Yeah.
Hello. Not here.
I wonder if you realize how the conflict in Ukraine is going to affect the Jamaican economy.
Well, we've been trying to talk about that a bit.
Yeah, because remember, I know Ukraine and Russia are large exporters of wheat, and we get our animal feed and flour and all those things from buying wheat and corn
and oil. Well, everybody focusing on oil, which is by far the biggest one.
So, and I don't hear the government saying anything that what they're going to do, you know. And a few years ago, the president of Guyana told his Caribbean counterpart that Guyana could become the food basket of the region. He was basically offering us land to come there and plant any amount of corn and so on, you know, to feed animal feed and so on. Because when you mention our trying to be a bit more independent with growing cattle feed, corn for our animals to feed our chickens and so on.
Yes.
The people that are that own these things that are importing these things.
Mm-hmm.
Argument is that it is cheaper to
bring it in.
We do have economic of scale. We can't grow enough corn and all them things there because we don't have enough land space. So with Guyana having this massive amount of land, water and everything, I would have thought that they would be thinking about taking up that offer, but I don't hear nobody talking about those type of things because they are growing up on this cheap importing of animal feed, and they use it and just do a large makeup and get a lot of profit.
One of the things to remember, my brother, is that especially when it comes to trade, it is for entrepreneurs and private people to break open markets and to build relationships and to create alternatives. So yes, government has a role to play in managing trade relationships and so on, but it is still a matter for persons like you and me to begin to craft the alternatives. And you're right, we're not hearing nearly enough conversation about the alternatives to some of the sources on which we have grown so dependent. But we are trying to open up the conversation here. We're looking at Africa, we look at CARICOM more deeply. We have to, and those are we can start the conversation as well.
Yeah, because my problem is this, we have a set of entrepreneurs in this country that we can't depend on them, I don't say we can depend on them for hundreds of years because to me they are just profit. They are just not thinking about development. They are thinking about profit.
Well, I'm gonna encourage you to be amongst those who break ranks. There are some people who seem to be the natural inheritors of power and wealth, and they are the ones who make the decisions and open markets. But it doesn't have to be so. If you see the opportunity, seize the opportunity.
Yeah, but
build the relationship.
Capital,
Yes.
We have been denied. We don't have owners of, we are not the owners of capital,
Capital
so
change hand every day.
Because right now, I have the idea, if I, from the first time I heard the Guyana Prime Minister make that suggestion, if I had capital, I would be in Guyana planting rice and corn.
If it's a good idea, if it's a good idea, there's a bank,
vision.
there's someone who will walk with you. It just takes time to break into that.
Well, that suggestion was made over 20 years ago.
No, but I agree with you, we have another call online. But in terms of the point that you are making, because a lot of these things in the short term don't give you the money that you think you should get your return on investment. But if you are thinking long term, food security development, it makes you wild to do it. So I agree with you. We have to persevere and do it.
Break
all right.
into it.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, please. Morning to you and your host.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, first thing first.
Morning.
What you and your last caller were talking about, I think the political foundation has to be laid before anything goes further, This is a political thing at Uraki.
You mean trade relations from
and the politics are the heartbeat central of there in a society, So if you not set the political stage, right? And the political and the judiciary stage, because right now a whole heap of corruption are going on because this setting is not proper. So if you not set it and we go anywhere go similar, they want that foundation politically.
Well, he was also talking about the opportunity that new people have to break into existing markets because they tend to be controlled by a small group.
Yeah, I'm not denying it. Saying the political state has to be laid, right? And we set up the judiciary. That's when Caffrey said between 2000, I can't do their finding, between 2009 and 2019, in excess of $300 billion was to be earmarked for vulnerable people in a society, the youth and other group, and more than that amount is unaccounted for, and nobody in authority has taken up in cafe finding up until now.
Yes.
So those are things we have to set the scale before it starts.
Yes,
right?
I hear you.
store clean wine in a dirty bottle. It gotta be contaminated. Put the bottle and the wine.
You lose both the wine and the bottle.
Yeah, look at the geopolitics now. Because most thing on the world, man, is Russia invasion of Ukraine. What do I say now? Mr. Putin, you see?
Yes.
Is trying to recoup the losses that Russia has suffered under the leadership of Michel Gorbachev, in association with people like Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan.
Trying to rebuild the empire.
Yes. Russia that has always been a dictator who capture people and capture European and African one capture the one in the land.
Yes.
European used to do it.
Of course.
Capture the one in the land.
You could just roll across the border with your weapons and your soldiers and.
Yeah, I'm interested in one of your female world leaders in the 17th century that are Catherine the Great.
Catherine the Great.
Yes, she when they used to capture other European white people, and I'm talking now,
Yes, I understand.
She mentioned the weakness of China. She mentioned the weak. In other words, China couldn't stop them from walking up in territory and go where they want to go. If they felt or they couldn't see.
Yes.
Because China never even took on a plane. China never in a position to stop them. But now China has come of age.
Yes.
China is now their strategic competitor. So the white world has to tread carefully how them destroy each other's infrastructure now,
And sometimes they're ally because China does a lot of huge projects.
So it's highly unlikely that we're gonna have anything like what I mean, World War I or World War II or beyond. It's highly unlikely as a result of the rise of China.
Right, and the presence, this kind of global presence of other people's assets and infrastructure.
Yes, because I tell you, I don't want to say about the white people. Then go lie down and just make China come take over them children and grandchildren like we, Because we know other people just take over for pitney and grand pitney and great grand pitney. The white people, the white world not going to allow that to happen. So it's highly unlikely that we're going to have anything like a World War III.
We don't
That's my little piece, It's my observation that, it's a prediction or other thing, but my observation that. So you take care and thanks for listening.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning again. Yeah, what's the drink commander talk?
Which one?
A while ago.
Oh, okay.
China not really interested in it. China interested in them business, Because I'm on at all time, China not interested in little Jamaica and them little place. China only interested in making money out of Jamaica.
You mean they're not interested in political domination?
Yeah.
They're interested in economic domination.
Disagree.
Yeah. So the China, we find the China fight all the white man and all the same kind of thing. Unless the white man could definitely bring it to them. You know what I mean?
Who was Genghis Khan? Who was that person?
All right. Genghis Khan was a China leader where bring China to the level with them there now.
Okay.
Him started.
All right.
By military might, I think is what Pastor Percival is emphasizing.
Geopolitical, yeah.
Because Pastor go way back, from the
Mongolian dynasty. Yeah.
Yes, and that hasn't left them, Yeah.
But they have the capacity. I don't think anyone should ever mistake them for being a walkover simply because they are more peace-loving than warlike. And they say it about themselves. The modern-day China presents itself as a civilized, the pen is mightier than the sword society. But they have capacity. They have built enormous military capacity so that if might is needed, they have the power.
So
they would never make that mistake.
So that thing, we're rotating, because as I tell you, Mongolia used to run the whole of Asia, Both Russia, China, and the whole of them, used to free the Mongolia and them, They used to ride horseman, them, You know what I mean? And look at Mongolia now. Mongolia have to take orders from Russia and China now. So, but here what happened now? You see Russia go through a lot too, You hear me?
Yeah, man, we're
listening.
Russia go through a lot too, So that's why you see Russia now get so serious in the late and take over the whole part of the whole of Asia again. And so it's a thing where Europe them fight against them one another. We know say Poland win Russia in a war already.
Mm-hmm.
Poland beat Russia in a war already, you know. Mm-hmm. And Poland border Ukraine, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's a thing where the European them just fight against them one another all the while. And them a war, just like our tribe in Africa, war and sell them one another. Mm-hmm. Them used to sell them one another, you know. But
what the question that I need to ask you, do you think that the present conflict is going somewhere in terms of the geopolitics?
Alright, I'm going to tell you what the conflict is going to go now. Mm-hmm. This conflict, them are going to sell out them weapons to Ukraine. That's Ukraine use it for Russia. Mm-hmm. They make some money out of, just like how the health department just makes some money out of Corona, right? The rural health department just makes some money out of Corona with them vaccine and everything. Yeah. So the arms man them now and make them money.
Okay.
Right? So they are going to sell weapon to Ukraine. Ukraine are going to use the weapon for Russia. Then what them are going to do now? They are going to use Ukraine like a buffer, like how Israel control the Middle East.
Okay.
So they are going to give Ukraine all the weapon them need, and all of the war are going to fight at Ukraine. Ukraine people are going to dead. But after a while, them going to get it under control. Because you know the West still stronger than Russia, you know. So Russia are going to the West still stronger.
All right.
All right, my brother. Thanks for that analysis.
Good. Thank
but
you.
Look, you know, when me here, this guy, man, righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
I want righteousness get my number from the engineer.
Okay, you're calling.
Okay,
all right.
when you call, you can.
Number over the thing, so.
All right, no problem.
No problem. All right.
Yeah, and don't make no man dry out. All right.
All right. Good.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for welcoming me back. Do you think we have enough land here to plant on?
What, to feed ourselves and our livestock?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Oh, because when I came back from Cayman, I worked in Cayman for 5 years. And when I drove on that bypass from, I think it's somewhere in Clarendon to St. Catherine.
Highway 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was so many flat land in
so much arable land.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see so many level flat land.
We can feed ourselves and our livestock.
You know? So we have enough here, but going back to the private sector, they won't allow anything like that. And they can sit in their pretty chair and import things and make their money.
Okay. All right.
You know?
Yes.
The other thing, the Russian leader is a greater and better and more humanitarian leader than any United States president, past and present.
All right,
check history.
Okay.
And the other thing,
you mean this present man, or you said check history?
Already. This man that named Genghis Khan.
Yes.
You don't trust people that rule the world or try to rule the world already.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes,
right.
yes. Empire builders.
I think, China cannot be trusted because they're secretive. I don't hate them. They're taking over my town here. Every corner, every crevice, they're taking it over.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't trust them.
All right.
Because they're very secretive.
Okay. All right, my brother. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning. How you guys doing?
We're good, Corey.
I must commend the result by the Ukrainians. I believe that Russia started the war in about 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe Jamaicans can display the same resolve?
Yeah, man. But if the question is if they are willing to.
Well.
But I would say the president of the United States, the European Union and other countries putting out sanctions on Russia, and it is having an impact on them. Yesterday, I thought that CNN News brings forward where people are running on the bank because they're predicting a cash crisis, and Russian bank assets have been frozen in the European Union.
That's an important assessment to be made, and not just for what's happening in Europe, but also think about it in the local setting. If you can starve, isolate, cut a man off from critical supplies, which is really how a siege works, and better yet, if you can do it using technology and using relationships, trade relationships, then you can have an opportunity to restore balance. And you don't need to be well armed. You don't need to be a military power. What you need to have are good relationships that you can call on to interfere with the other man's well-being while he's being the aggressor. I'm making that point because I want Jamaicans to begin to think in that way, to see what is the power that you have, what is the relationship you have that you can call on. It is not about cash, it's about relationship.
Yeah, I think the time is right now for the Russian people to take back power.
Oh yes,
stop looting.
I agree. That is how I see it, as an opportunity, because if one person's agenda can create such misery for the entire country, it's still only one person.
Yeah, because it's not a popular war.
It's not a popular war, true. Russians are objecting.
And also recently I saw the BOJ going and making a speech so that the depreciation in Jamaican dollar slowed in comparison to last year. But my question is at what cost? Say that it has slowed is not enough, because we have to look at the reserve currently. Reserve currently is actually depreciating in a significant way, and the reserves have been what has been used to slow the US dollar. But have we gotten the value for money? Because even injecting the money into the system, we realize that some days it actually continues to go up, and there are some days that it goes down by a couple cents. But the following day it continues to go up again.
So it is more towards depreciation. And interesting you say that, Corey. I heard a GIS clip where the Minister of Finance was talking about appreciation, depreciation, and devaluation. And I asked a friend who's an economist who explained to me, yes, he's correct in doing that. But when you get to the place as Minister of Finance that you have to be explaining to the public the difference between depreciation and devaluation, you know it's a serious problem. You might be right economically, but in terms of what is happening in people's pockets, that is a bigger issue. What it is that people are feeling. Because depreciation, devaluation, sure, we understand the economic difference. But when you go to the supermarket, as the man says, he went to buy a QRM 1 week, and when him go back, it was $3,000, reached $3,200. Where's that coming from? So that is an important point that you are making. When a Minister of Finance has to do that, we're in serious problems.
I mean, we're in a serious problem to have this finance minister. Because even currently, he should be out there using some jargon techniques to talk up investors and to talk about the market.
Right, talk about the market, yeah. That's what he should be doing.
Silent, that is what he should be doing right now. The BOJ governor should be out there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I am still wondering if they're planning to do further rate hike in the eventuality that we are in.
Yeah.
Because to contract the economy at this time when we expect everything to raise, then it shows you have no care for the Jamaican people.
Right.
I saw in the US the Fed allowed inflation to go up while ensuring that people are not hungry.
Okay.
The Fed is being cussed out by a number of people for that, but I am not against them for that.
Yeah.
It is now that they are planning to raise the rate by 50 basis points, and now they are reconsidered because of what is happening in Ukraine to raise it by 25 basis points.
Okay.
And they are out there and they are talking to the market. We do not have a minister talking to the market, and we do not have a BOJ governor talking to the market.
Yeah.
We are in serious problems.
Right. All right, Corey, thanks for your
analysis
this morning, and we have another call. So thank you. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, man.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning, Minett.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Pastor.
Morning. How you doing, sir?
Morning, Lawrence. Good. My take on this thing now.
Which thing?
Which thing now? Which thing? Had nothing with that.
From 1962, let's say, when Mr. Sarah win the election in the 80s, can you even tell me when Jamaican, black, average people life is better or was better?
If I can tell you when?
Yeah.
No, averaging, no, it has not been
All
good.
right, thank you. So, my take on this, I don't talk about my prejudice. My prejudice, I don't like white people, straight. Because when them kill black people, I shoot them down like pig in South Africa. We don't see no white people go in Jamaica, go to the English embassy, put up placard. I mean, I don't want the black people. White people are killing them. I want to look friends from them saying, enemy. Fight, man, fight.
All right.
Them kill we are from, we are talk about, walk together and promise land. No, revolution. All right?
But my question with that, but what do you say to Nelson Mandela and what he did after what they did to him?
Nelson Poppin.
Okay, all right.
I was hoping you would bring the conversation home.
Jesus Christ said, sell your garments and buy a sword. I am saying, sometime in our life, what I notice is black people, not care how white people treat them out here, overseas, not kill them, chop off them, put and kill them, and still I look friend from them. And that is a problem. You have to make man, you fight fire with fire, and then both of us realize we lose people and we just either compromise. But look at Falkland. Look how far Falkland is from England, where Margaret Thatcher do.
You mean the war that happened
there? Down there, and whatever problem, I should go back to Ronald Reagan and what happened. These people with power always abuse weak people. So weak people must get strong. The Jews get reparation. Anybody that talk about black people get reparation. Where you do? You talk about you want to build prison. Why you never say you build a training center for the youth?
Okay.
And we black people that talk about go to Russian embassy and they will take up arms. No, make white people kill off them one because look what going on in Israel. Where you are, so you not to Israel. Black people always want to look friends from white people. Don't care for them, just them as slaves. Them send them to war, them dead for white people, and them come back and treat them like when I say the word.
Okay.
And I'm just being straight. Like
all
white
right.
people kill out in one end, the world will be better. We don't have to worry about it. We're going to plant and park up a car them because we used to do it. Donkey cart and half a so that we can't plant. Look how much land layers of the man say. They are busy with white people and can't kill out them one. I busy with people who care for me. So Anjo and the rest of them, we are getting millions of dollars and I give poor people $9,000 a week. We realize everybody will become equal again. We'll have a good day.
All right, my brother. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. I just felt like saying it. All right. Tell me, what do you think about that?
You mean in terms of
the
it?
views as expressed? Yes. I was here looking at the. He always refers to the scripture about selling a cloak and buying a sword. And I think I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about that. But
someone else and
he's processing the call.
He's processing the call. Yeah. But firstly, I have been the process. Remember, I shared the experience with you when I was a little youth, and I went to this school.
You're the white woman.
Yes, to move.
Oh, we have a call. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Elaine.
Good morning, Sister Minett. I'm Brother Percy. How you all doing?
We're good, man.
My phone have a lock off, you know. Listen, me hear the brother there. I don't know if I give. What's it? I don't know if I aim. Him say if him find out say him a Afrikaner, he better kill himself.
Oh, somebody. Yes, somebody said that. I didn't hear that part.
The brother when named Samuel.
Oh,
not
okay.
Samuel. No, Samuel hasn't called. He hasn't called
on a prior occasion, man. Not since morning. Talk quick, Elaine. Come in, know your phone soon shut off. Tell us. Say it all.
Listen, me hear him call and I talk on the Sunday program. I don't know if I him now. I don't want to mix him up, you.
Well, how you feel about that? What you think about it?
Him is a sick man. You understand? Because him I say, hello?
Yeah, man, we hear you.
I just the Holy Father talk things about Africana.
All right. I knew it was likely to be short. All right. So it wasn't on this program that those things were said. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning. I saw this 60 or 68 thing on my WhatsApp.
Yes.
But I never did understand what it's about. I heard you talking about it on the radio, but
did you see the fact sheet? There's a fact sheet on the WhatsApp. Just if you read it and have questions, we can deal with it. But we're looking for members in 60 communities across the island to look at their community, make a determination that they want to change something there, and we work together to bring that change into effect, whether it is an environmental project, farming project, infrastructure project, spirit project to build community spirit, whatever it is that you see that is failing in your community and you want to be part of changing it. We want to work with you to bring that to being. We will include those communities in our outdoor broadcast. So we'll come into the community and do a show from the community where, we can participate in talking with community members and so on, paint a vision and just work together to bring it to pass. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay then, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, let's take our 9:30 break.
We'll be right back.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2¼ Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
My station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM. Keep listening.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. We have 2 callers on the line. Good morning to the first caller. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah, good morning again.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah. What is then give you the whole history of Eastern Europe, one of them man, But to the cars and start.
Yes, thank you for your discretion.
Yeah. But the call I would say, busy with white people. You have some white people, all right, but you can't just name us the white people. But black people go through a lot, with white people, So when we want to see white people leave Africa alone, because if you notice, every one of them nations there, have nuclear weapons except black people, So right now, Nigeria are one of the powerful black countries. And Nigeria not even have some good fighter team. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look on black people they're really far back, You know what I mean? But we don't really create white people still.
So you counted you
will go through with white leaders and everything there. Because if you notice how them structure Israel, look, Russia in Asia, and Russia still have Russia as Europe, you know. You know that?
Parts of Russia and Asia.
To Asia.
Yeah, but largely because Russia had dominated so much of Europe in terms of treatment of land.
We have find out now the 27 countries now we are fighting against Russia now. In the European Union.
You mean the NATO countries? NATO?
Yeah, NATO, yeah. Right? So, what really happened now? Russia, the people not free, and Russia like how them free than the other country. You know? So, it's one big problem, you know. So, I don't know. As you say, you have to get rid of Putin, you know, to really free up everything while going on.
And that is a decision for the people of Russia to make when they are sufficiently. Yes. It's one of these, this war causes us to really consider what we mean about when we say sovereignty, what we mean and desire when we say self-determination. Because even while you want to be an ally and a good friend to a country that is in need and calls out to you, you still always have to be balancing the interests of intervention and the larger world stage against what is good and what is right for the people in the country. Ultimately, for me, the people in the country must take charge, must take ownership and take the decisions.
I hear Putin say one thing doing. You know, say Putin asked them to join NATO, and they refuse it. So, you know,
ask who to join NATO?
Putin applied to be a part of NATO.
Okay.
Because you can't. NATO was formed to contain Russia.
That was the genesis of it, you know.
So they can't include him into the club that was created to contain him.
So you see the problem, I know.
Yes. All right, my brother.
One of the triggers is Ukraine.
One of them man in there.
We spend more time on it.
You got early, yeah. We just can't give them. Because we got historians, you know.
Ah.
We just all the history about.
Yes, yeah.
Asia come back, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, blessed, yeah.
Bless. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Man, call back, and don't want my credit in a brethren.
Oh, my apologies.
I'm on no in a brethren. How can I assist him this man?
Speak, no, my brother, speak.
Oh, his credit finished. Well, you know, credit is a finite resource. It is the luck of the draw when your call comes in. Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Never.
Yeah, I talked to the blind man yesterday. I spoke with him.
Yes, I gave him your number.
It's okay for you to give them a number, yeah?
Well, thank you for giving me the permission.
The group thing that you set up.
Yes.
Concerning the application form.
Yes.
I must fill it out online.
You can. Or
I can download it and fill it out.
Download it, fill it out, and or scan it and send it back.
Whichever way.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
minimum movement these days, you know, because we're conserving on petrol.
Yeah, because what happened now, morning to your listeners and your valuable callers, you see? I'm going to give you 2 suggestions this morning based on what I pick up.
Yes.
Anybody who have more than $1.2 million in any bank account in Jamaica, you need to take out the extra and either transfer it to another bank or put it into another account. Because there's some serious bank runs that is going on in Europe based on the war.
Yes.
And the rate at which the the Russian ruble is falling. A lot of people moving the money out of the bank and buying gold, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. Because they know that the world currency system going to change and the war is just one part of their script book.
Yes, there's a changing of the guard that will take place in the aftermath of this military skirmish that I sense it too. I try not to, and you know, Neville, I know that you're giving sound advice. I recognize it, but because we try to moderate how people receive certain things, I myself I'm I don't say as much. Like you call and you pull me out on an issue, I'll speak it. But I see some things on the horizon. And they're not frightening things, really, because as we've been discussing this morning, these adversities give you the opportunity to soar. So it's really just a question of understanding and positioning and keeping a calm and a level head so you don't panic.
What is worrying the West now?
Yes.
Is that China not saying anything.
Aha.
And China is the #1 ally of Russia.
Right.
And there was a document that they shared with China.
Mm-hmm.
And the document reached back in Putin's hand, and the Chinese government not talking anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when the U.S. shared some information with the Bruce Golding administration and Dodds.
Yes, yes.
And it reached back into Dodds' hand.
Yes.
And they found the document in Dodds' place down in Tivoli.
Yes.
It's the same way, the same copy of the document that they share with China, some intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
It reached back on Putin's desk. So the whole thing is a series of corruption and is a planting for power.
Well, you know, earlier I was saying to the other caller that the great asset that anyone has in a war is relationship.
Thank you, thank you.
If you have the relationship, yeah, man.
That's why we have to build a better relationship through programs like these.
Absolutely.
So that we can fight off what is to come. Because let me tell you this before I leave, Pastor. They stop taking advice from university professors now, you know. They're taking advice from what they call artificial intelligence.
Algorithms.
And when Putin put in his algorithm in his AI system, it don't tell him exactly what the West might do and what is the worst case scenario, so they're planning for it. And Putin at value $89 billion. And he's the #1 world expert on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And if you notice in Bitcoin portfolio going up, Bitcoin went up to $40,000 yesterday, while the ruble fell.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, man, redistribution, transfer.
And these capitalists in Jamaica here, they will take away your money out of your bank because it only insured for 1.2 million in order to secure their future for their children. Just like what China and Putin and the whole of them trying to do. And push black people down the poverty line. Take care of your show.
All right, my brother. Thank you. Is there another call? Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, good morning. I know you never get my WhatsApp number. The first caller this morning who had shared the SVC.
Yes.
Let's leave it.
Leave it. So you want to give it to the engineer now, or you did already?
No, I can give on here if you want to and still.
All right.
Because we really need to look at all the things. You see, when I farmed the farmer spot in your town, one of the aims we had looked at how to utilize cassava in its entirety, including using the leaf and so forth. And we had found out where we could have made massive move, and we were looking to go into Guyana to lease land because we were looking at how to improve our base.
Yes.
So you see, there is some of us here as local people, as small people on the ground who have ideas and know what we want
and ready to do big things.
And so what you are doing now is something that really would help unify, because one I think now, as I say, you look at what, 16 communities.
60.
Yes, if the 16 communities come together and begin pooling, looking at the resource within our area.
Absolutely.
Pooling our energy together.
Yes.
We can be the catalyst of the change within Jamaica when we begin showing
on
the
a
rest
national
of Jamaicans,
level.
Because people galvanize towards success.
Yes, sir. Well said. Thank you very much.
Right.
So give the number to the engineer for me, please.
Yeah, I give it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning, love and bless. What going?
Nothing much, my brother. Welcome.
Morning, Africa.
Give thanks, my friend.
What's up?
Me I look how we have promoted our farmer them for going to Canada to work.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for raising that one. The story that made the news about the farmer, the farm worker who died in Canada and whose body came home in a state of decay and showing obvious signs of abuse. Oh man, that was just painful. That story caught your attention too.
Yesterday, something that we will talk about.
Yes.
And deal with. Our people, all of them not much interested in those, you know?
Well,
yeah, they're not interested in these present issues. They promote farmers for God cannot go work. These government down here, them know the white people don't like it. And then just each up under them around them and behind them. And I go on like say, we are the white people and slaves same way. There ain't nobody slaves in the community.
I hear you. I hear you and I join you. Yeah, with that situation with, because really when you are exporting labor, you export your people, and you must have a care and concern for their well-being such that certain things just don't happen. And to see that family on TV and in the news talking about the condition in which the brother's body came back to Jamaica, and it's like the government didn't even seem to know. They are the ones sort of taking to the airwaves to say we are demanding an explanation.
And them
yeah,
talking about the people and burial money.
Yes,
huh?
As if to say, yeah, man, it's offensive. For those who might not have caught the story, a young man, I think he was 40 or 41, a man of able-bodied in his prime, went to Canada on a work program, and on arrival, the family was told that he tested positive for COVID, was put in isolation with 2 or 3 others, and shortly after, the report came that he had died, and his body was returned to Jamaica in a deplorable condition. The mother said it is such that her children have said she cannot look at him. The sister says you can see the decomposition of the body. And the government's response is that they will take care of the burial, the funeral expenses. It is cold, it is heartless, it is below the standard that you would even give to your animals. And at the same time, we hear that our minister is planning to increase the number of persons to go to Canada on these farm work programs. Boy, African, thank you for raising that one.
These white minister, these lucky man. Eh?
All right, my brother. Just remember now that we have a duty because they don't force us to go, you know. It is people who want opportunities who are putting themselves up as candidates to go. And the government, on the other hand, sees it as an opportunity to earn foreign exchange because
them don't give the people that same opportunity down here.
So that is what we need to talk about because it's people who sign up to go and they are usually coveted spots. So it's not the government who is wicked in it, although them wicked too. We down here must value ourselves more. And if you have a family member who is looking longingly at the plane so them want to go do farm work, beg you please make sure they know the danger that they're putting themselves in because there's nobody. When I heard the lady say last night, if we don't have nobody to defend us.
I'm going to tell you something. Me, they have to defend her, yeah? I'm not afraid, you know.
All right, my brother. Thank you for that.
You know, Miss Minett.
Yes, brother.
It's good to be here, yeah?
All right.
In Africa.
Last night and you know the question that the lady asked about who defends us from this meaning of government is a question I asked myself in 2016 when I heard that the American government didn't want my company to have a license, and my government was saying to me, give me back the license that I gave you because the Americans don't want you to have it. And I said, who stands for me?
Okay.
And when I heard the lady ask it last night, and she asking it over the body of her dead brother, she said, who defend us? And the response of the government is, we will bury him. No, we don't want to bury him. We stay and look upon him. I mean, it just cries out. I'm glad African raised it because it was in my spirit to address it and to say that these things that are happening And they're happening because we are looking for opportunities and for betterment. And we're looking elsewhere. And we can't necessarily fault the government for building these relationships because, as you know,
we are always going to migratory.
Absolutely. So, but you now have to have the discretion and the knowledge and the awareness that if you can go and reap a crop for a man or foreign, you can plant and reap your own. And let's fight for having the things here that we need.
But you know, I hear the passion in your voice, and it's one of the things that people have spoken about in terms of globalization, because I'm sure he's working in a agricultural thing that we used to have here, and it's so unfortunate that we have given it up and have not replaced it with something that can cause our people to be economically viable. Somebody put online the whole thing of the Stockholm syndrome, which is where we see that what it is really feelings of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taken by a victim towards a captor. Let's contextualize it. The fact that somebody said online that we love the white people, them, and even though they have heard us and we want to have a relationship with them, I'm hearing it, but we have to continue to look and to explore. Because simple as we come to the end of the show for the day, it's been very lively. I just want to remind people that we are here discussing ideas and we're not here.
We have some music to play, Pastor Percival. And we never get our good music yesterday because we stayed too long at the party.
You did stay too long at the party.
Yeah, I'm encouraging you now not to.
So just to saying to people, remember, let us be civil in our discourse. Ultimately, what we want is for people to be galvanized and empowered to take control of their situations and bring about change and improvement. Thanks for being here this morning.
And thank you, listeners, online, on air. Thank you very much for your participation. Crew in the house, you know that it is all love and respect. And Pastor Percival, thank you very much. Walk good, everybody.
The race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong, but for them that can endure long, long, long. You hear? Again